Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and we're here for the Midlands derby. Kind of Midlands. East Midlands Leicester versus Midlands Aston Villa. Thank you for joining us. Joined by two of my very good mates. Toby, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I've just watched the most one-sided 2-1 loss in the history of football, but other than that, I'm okay.
And Banger, how are you doing, mate?
Oh, mate, I'm good. I'm good after.
We got you, Banger.
You got me? Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm very good. A bit of
Technical difficulties, 30 seconds in. Good start.
Yeah, good to get it out of the way.
We'll reflect very quickly and we'll delve back into it later because on the Spurs result we've just had, the West Ham victory, because Spurs, of course, are on our hit list for double game week 26 and loads of us looking to bring in Kane. But just reflecting on the game, Tobes, Spurs' form, is that something we should be concerned about, or are we still very much looking ahead to a really nice double game week where we could go Kane, Son, captaincy, fully commit there?
Yeah, I mean, the short answer is probably I'd be a bit concerned about Spurs' form. Obviously, they're not in very good form at the moment. Having said that, just purely on eye test today, Spurs were actually pretty good today. I thought they played well, especially in the second half. They dominated the game. Looking at the stats now, I think they had 21 shots in that game, which is not, for what Mourinho has been churning out recently, that doesn't sound like a Tottenham team. Kane, on another day, would have had a couple of goals and a couple of assists as well. Son, actually, to be fair, was really, really quiet in the game. Really kind of off the pace. Kind of had one that hit the post in the final minute. So, yeah, in terms of, my plan is to bring in Harry Kane next week for the double. And from what I saw today, even though they lost, there's nothing I've seen there that's going to probably stop me from doing that, I don't think.
Yeah. We've got questions in the chat about Grealish as well. Grealish, should we sell? I know there's loads of Grealish owners out there. I think he's about 35% owned. Until we know news about his injury, do not sell, guys. He might be out for 1 week. I don't think we've heard anything pre-match about his injury. Almost certainly post-match we will. If he's out for 3, 4, 5 weeks, of course we look to move him on. Banger, what's your take on Grealish? Very much a kind of wait and see, because there's a lot of worried owners out there.
Yeah, 100%. Wait and see. In general, I wouldn't be making any decisions until, because obviously you can play in double game. We can 29 as well. So You don't want to make a silly choice and getting rid of him too early without knowing.
It's actually really annoying. I own Grealish, and he was the player. I wanted him over Watkins. I kind of felt like you needed to have one of those going into the next 4 or 5 game weeks, because Villa's fixtures are great, and they've got potentially a couple of doubles in there as well. But now Grealish being out, I don't know what you think, Gianni. I think you mentioned it the other day. Grealish being out probably does negatively impact Ollie Watkins owners as well. His output will probably drop as a result.
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of like if Grealish is out for 2 or 3 weeks, do you want to somehow then have some Villa coverage with Watkins? Because attacking wise, they're probably your best 2 options by quite some distance. And I don't know, I'm almost a bit put off bringing in Watkins if Grealish isn't going to be fit.
Yeah, part of the charm with Aston Villa, I guess, is that owed a couple of doubles that still haven't been scheduled yet. They could double, I think, in 27-8, and they play in blank 29. So triple Villa still looks on, but obviously you're right, Toes, without Grealish. One to keep an eye on, though, Banger, and we'll be watching him in a couple of minutes' time. We'll see kickoff at Villa Park. El Ghazi comes in for Grealish. If Grealish is out long term, El Ghazi, we know, shoots on sight. Last time he was in the team, went on a really nice goal-scoring run, and he'll be on penalties.
Penalty taker, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One that would interest you, Banger?
Yeah, and definitely one I'll be watching today as well. If Villa do put in a performance, and still, if Watkins can get those chances, El Ghazi could be a shout. And even Barkley, maybe, as well. Yeah. He's another creator. We know what he can do. I think he's made a huge difference since signing for Villa.
What about Traore? He's actually been on a pretty good run, hasn't he? The last 6 or 7 game weeks, his returns have been pretty good for someone that is again in that kind of low. What is he, 5.5, 6 million bracket?
Probably. Is he listed as a midfielder, Tobes? I guess he is.
Yeah.
It was obviously a forward, considered a forward at Lyon and Ajax and Chelsea before that. But yeah, Traore is nailed as well. Regardless of Grealish being in the team, Traore is one that plays on that right-hand side.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't have the set piece threat. Tobes, what about Matt Cash dropping out at right back? The Villa back four this season, well, back five if you include the goalkeeper, have been very, very good. They've been solid. But sometimes in these smaller squads, when you see one of those key cogs come out, and obviously Mings, Target and Konza start today, but Matt Cash doesn't, Mohammedi comes in, you see a little bit of defensive frailties coming through, and Villa have been conceding a lot of shots recently. I don't think Martinez clean sheets are a banker anymore.
Yeah, I completely agree. You've talked about it, haven't you, in the last couple of weeks, how Villa's clean sheets actually probably aren't that sustainable. They've been conceding a lot of good chances, possibly being a little bit lucky to concede it or to get as many clean sheets as they have. And yeah, like looking at today, I've been so impressed with Aston Villa this year. I really, really have. But today, you take Cash out of that team, you take Grealish out of that team. Leicester are a team in really good form. I kind of feel like we're looking at a pretty comfortable Leicester win today. I mean, famous last words, but yeah, on paper, this looks to me like a sort of a 2-3-0 Leicester job.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Bang? Would you go Leicester? If you're a betting man, would you go Leicester?
Yeah, I would. Just looking at the stats on the TV now, they're 16th in terms of shots conceded, but they're number one in terms of saves at the minute. So, like Toad saying, it might just be a case of when, because they're conceding a lot of chances. And that Leicester team is looking strong.
It'll be really interesting. Yeah. What do you reckon the lineup's going to be? Because we got Ricardo Pereira back and Castagna playing. So one of them's probably going to be in midfield, or will it be a back five? We don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a five looking at... it's a back four looking at it now. And what's he called? Back in centre half as well. Soyuncu, he's been back for the last couple of games. So that's a boost.
Have you boys kicked off yet? Are we... So, like, timestamp, I've literally just kicked off.
Yeah, but I'm...
Me too. When you said, have you boys kicked off, I was literally seeing the ball go. I think I'm on 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, I'm a couple of seconds behind, but that's good. We're close.
Louis Ashton in the chat has said, there's been a Martinez save already. Unbelievable. What is it about Martinez and save points? Yeah, I mean, Leicester are on the attack here. And it is Pereira down the middle. Good catch from the keeper. Pereira looks like he's playing right of a midfield four, potentially. Pereira on his left foot there. Hey, John in the chat. Hey, Roger, MC Moyes, Louis, Rajat. Thank you all for joining us. Sorry, Tobes.
No, yeah, just it makes me laugh. Last time we watched Villa as well, I'm sure it was like 20 minutes in, and Martinez had made like 5 or 6 saves. It's just they just seem to do it, don't they? But they concede a lot of shots from sort of difficult positions with low XG. But yeah, I would be really surprised if Villa shut out Leicester today, if I'm honest.
Yeah, me too. I'm really interested to see how they line up in an attacking sense, because Leicester, that is, because against Liverpool in the second half, Banger, they went to a diamond in the middle, which pushed Maddison to a number 10 role. Maddison this season has been playing more advanced, but it's also meant Barnes was in a front two with Vardy. That's nice for Barnes owners. I think he's like 6.7, 6.8 million.
Yeah, great for Barnes owners. And it's great watching Leicester as well. You know, I think sometimes they've been come undone a bit when in terms of a plan B. Yeah. I think Roger's showing that now. What a job he's doing. What a job.
It looks to me at first glance like Ricardo Pereira is playing really high up on this side, almost like the third, like the right winger. So yeah, he's potentially one to keep an eye on if we're going to see Pereira playing up there more frequently.
Yeah, because obviously Castagna starts as well today. So Castagna's at right back, I assume. Thomas will be at left back. So Castagna and Pereira, I guess when one goes, the other one will sit. But it looks like the default is Pereira in front. In terms of price, though, because Pereira's done so well for FPL managers in the past, and I remember, I think it was last season or the season before, it was just a points machine. He's not cheap, despite his injury. I think, off the top of my head, I think he's 5.9 or 6 million. But, you know, most Leicester defenders aren't they? You know, Justin was cheap, but, you know, Evans at 5.5, Castagna 5.7, Soyuncu's 5.3, and, Pereira 5.9, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a bit too much money at the moment, isn't it, given the options that are available. And also Pereira back from a long-term injury as well. He's probably going to have his minutes managed to some degree as well. I mean, the only reason you'd be bringing him in is if he was, you know, got 3 or 4 starts in a row playing as a right winger. You might think, option here. But I think there are better options to consider in the meantime.
Clearance there from Mings. It's all Leicester, isn't it? I mean, I don't think Aston Villa have managed to get into the Leicester half yet. Leicester definitely look like the home team. Guys, we'll have a little halftime chat about a topic that's perhaps not too FPL related. We did Haaland and Mbappe last time out, Tobes. Guys in the chat, let us know what you want us to talk about halftime. In the past, we've done your favourite ever goals, your favourite ever kits, teams we think will go relegated, teams we think will win the Premier League. Give us a topical issue and we'll concentrate on it for 10 minutes at halftime. It's the Leicester corner here. Leicester, who's going to be on? Yeah, it's Maddison with the outswinger by the looks of it.
Did you? I don't know if you saw any of the build-up pre-game where they were putting either/or questions to Maddison and Grealish.
Oh, nice!
It was great. So it was like, Pele or Maradona, Ronaldo or Messi, Merson or David Ginola, and yeah, it was good. They were pretty aligned on most stuff. I thought the biggest shocker, they were both like Maradona all day long over Pele.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them were like obviously a bit before our generation, but from what I've heard and what I've read. Like, surely Pele was just better than everyone, but forever.
It's weird because my dad was that era and will remember Pele and certainly Maradona. And he always says to me, Maradona is the best footballer that's ever lived and you won't ever beat. And Messi's still second to him or whoever. But it doesn't talk about Pele in the same regard, which is weird, Tobe. So I'm with you. Like, everyone always says about Pele, the best ever.
Yeah.
I guess because he was in the best ever team as one of the best ever teams and Maradona wasn't.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I know also, easy to say, like Pele scored a lot of his goals in the Brazilian leagues.
Then North America.
Yeah, a lot.
He scored a lot of goals in general, whereas Maradona's goal record wasn't, he was a phenomenal player, but he wasn't like a...
I'm guessing he never played in Europe, Pele.
No.
No.
I think so.
No, in America, and he went to the MLS. And,
yeah, wasn't he New York Cosmos or something, which I don't think is a thing anymore.
I think we'd score goals for the New York Cosmos.
Yeah, so you got to go someone like Maradona and go, okay, he moved to Napoli when they were a bottom half team and won Serie A with them when all the best players in the world were playing in Italy for the big teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, fair. Guys in the chat, loads are wanting Martinez to do well today. I think Martinez, I heard earlier this week, has got the best points per million. So the best value player in the game this season is Martinez. When you look at goalkeepers alone, he's obviously top of the tree. Pope in second has got 120 points. Martinez 128. But those two are head and shoulders above the rest. Tobes, is Martinez's bench for you today, I guess, because you would have played Pope yesterday, did you?
Yeah, that's right. I bought in Pope a couple of weekends ago for the double game week, knowing that I'm going to be playing my bench boost in 26 next week. So yeah, obviously needed two playing goalkeepers, and actually the two of them rotate fairly well. Like, today you'd expect Leicester to score a goal. Yesterday, Burnley had a really great fixture that had a clean sheet written all over it. Next week, the double, and then even beyond that, they do rotate quite well. So yeah, I'll have both of those until I wild card, which is looking likely for game week 31.
Great. Who are your two keepers, Banger?
I've only got one still at the minute. I've had a bit.
Ahead of a bench boost next week.
Yeah, I've had a bit.
I had Spurs in his team either.
Or Villa. I had a plan of like 15 players playing twice, and then Justin got injured. I took a punt on getting rid of Son for Sterling, which I really hope would have worked out last week. It might this week, you never know. And then Justin got injured. And then on cherry on the top was Danny Ings. I thought would be getting a double game week and isn't.
Although Ings is a really tricky one because he doubles obviously this week and then he doubles again in 27.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to sell Ings ahead of the 26, but I might actually bring him back for 27, which seems silly. It's a waste of a transfer, but
he doesn't play in 29 either, does he, Ings? Which if you've not got a free hit, you've probably got one eye on not bringing in a player that's blanking in 29.
Yeah, definitely. We've got guys in the chat getting engaged with some of the things we could be talking about. Skander says Fulham aren't going down. I'm with you there, Skander. I tweeted about that a couple of weeks ago. Best English strikers: Kane, Lineker, Shearer, Rooney, Wright, Fowler. Yeah, that's quite topical. We could go there. We could go England starting 11 for the Euros. That's one we might need more than 15 minutes for. But we could maybe as a collective three, and with your help in the chat, try and get our starting 11 for England come first game, or maybe should England get to the final in the Euros versus France, maybe do that because that's what was going around social this week. How are you guys dealing with the current template? The rank rise is slow now, says Nuclear Atoms. Tobes, how are you dealing with the template?
I wouldn't know is the answer to that, obviously. I don't know. I think it's always one of those funny ones, isn't it? Like the template. It totally depends on your situation in your mini leagues, what your overall rank is. Like if you're having a good season and your overall rank is healthy and you're top of your mini leagues, you've got absolutely no reason to deviate outside of the template if you think that template is still going to be scoring you the most number of points. Like generally speaking, why pick anyone that isn't going to score you points just because they happen to be a differential, particularly if you're in a strong position? Totally get it if you're in a mini league where you need to make some moves and players above you have all got very similar teams, then sure, absolutely. But yeah, I just think the template is a template for a reason. They are the players that are generally the most in form or the cheapest or a combination of the two, and that's why the template exists. So yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it would be my advice.
What about though? Nuclear Atoms is saying it's hard to get those rank rises. Is now the time to go maybe a few differentials, or is that for game week 33, 34 and beyond?
Again, I think it really depends. It depends on like what chips you've got remaining as well. Yeah. Like if you've got a wild card left, you might want to leave it a little bit later, perhaps, knowing that you can change it maybe in 30, well, I think 31, there's a big fixture swing. So, you've then got an opportunity on a lot of people who will probably have had to have massively done surgery on their team to get 7 or 8 players out in the blank 29. Probably won't be keeping an eye 2-3 game weeks ahead, and they'll get to game week 31 and go, Jesus, I've got a terrible team and I've got no wild card. What am I going to do? That maybe is a big opportunity then to cash in.
Chance for Harvey Barnes there. Doing what Harvey Barnes does best. He takes the ball really close to the halfway line, runs from the left along the touchline, bumps Traore, opens up his body for the far post 10 yards out. Thierry Henry style finish. Yeah. It's a really good block by Konza because that's going bottom corner. I don't think Martinez gets that.
I felt Barnes could have maybe dropped and cut onto his left foot there.
He's he's pretty one-footed.
I know. That's the thing. If he dropped it and shimmied to the left of it, he would have had a lot more space and could have,
Talking of England team for the Euros, Konza is one that would massively be on my list. Like,
mate, I'm with you. Villa fans say he's the best centre-back at Villa.
Yeah. And everything I've seen from him, like every time I watch him...
Sorry, Tobes. Pereira again with a shot, 25 yards out, this time on his right foot. It's definitely goal bound. Yeah. It takes a deflection and sort of floats over the bar, but he's got time and space to turn on the edge of the box. That McGinn and Douglas Luiz, 2 holding mids playing today for Villa, if you can count McGinn as one. There's so much space for Pereira.
His position as well.
Inside forward.
Yeah.
You can solo.
Yeah. Do you know what? He's definitely one to watch. I bet. Let's have a look. Pereira's ownership. It'll be 2%. Like it'll be so low. There's one for your Nuclear Atoms. If you're looking for a differential, Leicester have got some tasty fixtures coming up. His ownership is 0.6%. They play Arsenal and Burnley in the double, and then it's Brighton and then Sheffield United.
Bring him in.
You'd back him to Leicester to win all of those.
You really would. They're looking good for top 4, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ramesh says Mourinho's lost a dressing room again. We might get to that if we have time. Who's going to win the Euros? Leo says, where's Seb? It's his birthday this weekend, so he's not with us. But I'm sure he'll be back next time. Is this England team better than the 04-06 team? That was the golden generation, wasn't it? Ahead of the World Cup in Germany in 2006. It was the generation of the Wags. The back line then with Rio, Terry, Ashley Cole, Gary Neville. You had Lampard, Gerrard and Scholes. Yeah. This England team's nowhere near that good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. That England team was the golden generation because it was all those players that were like peaking at that point as well. They were all about like 25, 26, 27, 28, all at the very top of their game. Like, don't get me wrong, this current England team is very, very exciting, but it's full of players like Foden, who's a kid, and Grealish isn't a kid as such. Mason Mount's a kid.
Inexperience,
Yeah, I mean, it's super. Jadon Sancho, kid. There's lots of really exciting players in there, but they're not at the same level of their sort of career stage, I don't think, as that England team was back in the day. With
that England team that Sven had, they all played for like the 2 or 3 best teams in the country at the time as well. Like it was full of the core of United, the core of Liverpool, the core of Chelsea. Banger, was that a missed opportunity? Because that World Cup in 2006 was there for the taking, really.
Yeah, and even 2002, even the squad wasn't as good as it was in 2006, but even in 2002, we got to the semi-final, knocked out by Brazil.
Yeah,
and
David Seaman, wasn't it?
As far as the team now goes, I think it's sort of Southgate's in a better position now. He's sort of not got many top class players to consider. Where you've got Harry Kane, maybe Sterling, but he's got a lot of really good players to pick from. And I think he's got a tougher choice now, whereas before, it was a dead set. You were picking Gerrard, Lampard. It was, but I think Southgate's got a bit of a tough decision to make now, and you've got a lot of players hitting form again. And,
it's a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids, as Toad said, but also a lot of players from teams that aren't playing in the big games that are title winning or aren't playing in the big games in the Champions League. So, you're picking players, no disrespect to Aston Villa or to, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a few examples, but kind of your mid-table teams.
Yeah.
Your Leicesters of this world, I know they're a top four. Back to the game, it is all Leicester. Just looking and at the moment, the way Bertrand Traore is almost playing as the number 9 and Watkins on the right. I don't know if that's just a phase of play we're in, but Watkins seems to have moved quite wide and Traore seems to be down the middle, which is a strange one. Traore has been playing on the right. Maybe it's part of their counter. Yeah, it's Traore down the middle again as Villa attack. El Ghazi is firmly on the left.
I mean, Villa have got quite an attacking lineup, considering, haven't they?
Because
El Ghazi, Barkley, Traore, Watkins.
Yeah.
In midfield, you've got McGinn in midfield, but that's it, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, and then Douglas Luiz is the holder. But McGinn likes to get forward too. Yeah. So they're having a go. But I think that might give Leicester more space. Maddison will like those pockets.
Where do we stand on McGinn? I know, like last season, he kind of burst onto the scene, didn't he, as an FPL asset. He plays 90 every week. Villa have got good fixtures, couple of doubles. They play in 29. Is McGinn a little differential option if you're looking for one?
Yeah, it's a strange one because I feel like last season he got loads of early goals, didn't he? But
then for me,
he's just too deep. He's just too. And now I guess Barkley's in the team, so it's another player in front of McGinn. And I think they're probably very similar in price. I don't rate Barkley as a footballer, but as an FPL asset, I think Barkley might be one to look at if you're looking for that third Villa asset, knowing Grealish is out. And Banger, I know you mentioned Barkley earlier. And the beauty of Villa is they're going to get a couple of doubles between now and 29, and they play in 29. We'll get back to the game. As soon as stuff happens, guys, we're going to be keeping up to date. I know loads of you in the chat are watching along with us. Others in the chat, I know you're playing FIFA and stuff, which I absolutely love that. You're playing FIFA and watching us, so you can keep up to date on the game. So any big chance we'll get you there. But in the meantime, we're going to get some of those questions out. Lingard's had 4 returns in 4 games, Banger. Come on, what do you reckon?
Oh, sorry, really good chance for Traore there. It's an absolutely phenomenal tackle. I think it was possibly from Castagna, maybe back there.
Yeah.
Or was it Watkins had the chance? I'm pretty sure it was Traore.
It was Traore.
Yeah. A good chance, that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's El Ghazi. El Ghazi puts it on a plate, didn't he?
Yeah, does really well. Yeah, El Ghazi, it's a really good bit of play by Watkins out the left. Puts it on a plate. To be fair, I don't actually know who that was sliding in that blocked it. It's a really good block, though.
Yeah, there's a couple of them just throwing themselves at it. Seems like it's really wet there, like the way they just skid when they blocked in. I think the heavens have opened in the Midlands there for this game. I mean, it's always hard to tell on camera, but if it is pouring with rain, then get your shots in because it's going to be hard for the keepers.
Classic Sunday League shout, that, isn't it? When it's a bit dewy on the surface. It's like, plenty of shots, lads. Come on.
Test the keeper.
Nobody's got any ability to shoot from 30 yards, Dave. Come on.
Or it's like when you see the opposing teams like goalkeeper, and it's like a little short fat lad, and you're like, oh, stick it high. Or it's a big bloke, and you're like, oh, bottom corner, lads. It's like none of us have got the ability to actually like aim where in the goal it's going to go. We can aim at a goal, but to put
and if we hit it that hard, we're going to be out for another 2 weeks afterwards.
My favourite thing about Sunday League is you get to the pitch, you've got a match in 40 minutes, and like the coach tips the balls out, and everyone just starts like blasting the ball at a goal because they're like, oh, we've not kicked a football in like 3 days. Let's all take shots as our warm up. Deary me, without stretching, classic. Those are the days.
Carling down.
Oh, there's definitely been some drama. I'm not going to look at the chat because we'll bring it to you as live as we watch it. I'm on 1806 at the moment. And we did say, look, Villa have come into it a little bit. But it looks like Leicester are, it's kind of even. The ball's on the halfway line at the moment. Target has it, plays it out. And of course, Leicester go into the game as massive favourites, you'd say, on current form. And there's a lot of FPL interest in this game. You look at the Leicester attackers like Barnes and Maddison are pretty well owned now. But also Villa clean sheet points with Martinez. And it's Leicester on the attack. Vardy wins the ball. Barnes is 20 yards out, got a bit of space, puts Maddison in, shot from the edge of the box. 1-0. 1-0 Leicester.
Maddison.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Mads.
Oh, yeah. Oh, should Martinez save that?
He doesn't hit it hard, does he?
And he gets quite a big chunk of it, I think, on first viewing.
Yeah, I think he should.
He's used the wet pitch.
He has.
Yeah. That's annoying. I've got Maddison's my transfer this week.
He's going to go up in value now, Tobes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not right in the corner either, is it?
No.
Is it harsh to say he should save it? I don't know. Yeah. It's one of those. It's like
on a sunny day, he's saving that all day.
Yeah, kind of. I think you're right, Tobes. I think if that's Pickford, we say he should save it.
I don't think Maddison strikes it quite as nicely as he might want to. He sort of scuffs it a little bit for a man that can hit a ball really well.
Yeah, and he gets it when Martinez blatantly gets a good hand to it. And when you get a hand to it, you should probably save it.
Yeah, it's one of those that if he saves that, you're going, so it's a really great save. But yeah, possibly a world-class keeper, you'd expect them maybe to.
We don't see that enough, do we, Banger? Edge of the box, 9 times out of 10, players aim for the top corner there. He's gone bottom corner. And, just as difficult to get to for a goalkeeper. It's good hit.
If not more so, yeah. Especially when you got Mings, was trying to make the block there, which could obstruct Martinez's view a bit. Definitely he'll try and hit it low.
Sanjay loves the Pickford comment. It's true though, isn't it? And he did really well for once the other day. A lot of saves last night.
Yeah, he did.
It's another player though, isn't it? In that little England midfield that they just pan to Gareth Southgate in the crowd. Like, I don't really think you can not take Maddison. You certainly can't not take Grealish and Foden. Mount's going to go. You're going to be leaving out some really good players, aren't you? Whatever happens.
It's a lot of similar players, though, isn't it? Southgate's going to get stick no matter what.
You say similar, though, Banger. Foden, Grealish and Mount can all play 3 or 4 different positions.
They can,
Maybe not Grealish, but Mount and Foden have played 4 or 5 different positions each this year. The problem with Maddison is he is a number 10 and number 10 only, really.
Mount, I think could be. In fact, I would have Mount.
Oh, it's a bit of a high kick there from McGinn. VAR might look at that on Thomas.
I think he got the ball though, didn't he? It's just like his follow through. I don't think it's anything malicious in it.
Thomas is limping there. The last thing Leicester want is another injury to that back line. I don't think they've got much strength on the bench, but I guess you could put Pereira left back. Tobes, what do you reckon? Maddison, you think he deserves it, but do you actually think he'll go? Because he's not been called up to any of the last squads, and Southgate seems to like his core players, but he's there today watching. Or is he watching Barnes?
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of talent to watch today, hasn't he? I mean, I think Maddison will go. Trouble is, you've just got, even in England's striking department, you've got obviously Kane.
Oh, sorry, Tobes. Looked like that was going top bins, didn't it?
Oh, Pereira again. Yeah, it did. Good save. So that's got to be Martinez now on, 3 saves already?
Pereira is a free roamer. He's a Messi today,
he's number 10.
He's not. Rodgers has just given him the card to go ahead any way you want, mate.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's actually a good save. It was bound right for the top corner.
Curtis Jones is underrated to Sanjay. He's definitely not going.
No.
Well, I mean, it's even talking about a player like Saka at Arsenal, who's been brilliant this year.
I think he'll go.
I think
he's a doubt to go, but probably should be going. Harvey Barnes,
and he can play left back, which is quite nice.
Because he has played for England. He's played in the last couple of games.
It's been at left back, isn't it? Because Chilwell was injured. I mean, Maitland-Niles has been called up to the last few squads. I don't think he'll go now. He's gone to West Brom. And
even it sort of wound me up a bit today watching the Spurs game.
Leicester on the attack here. Sorry, Tobes. It's Tielemans. Puts in Barnes. Touch Vardy. Oh, shot spilled. Oh, goal. Barnes.
Oh,
so Vardy has a shot. It's a bad save again.
Goalkeeping, yeah. Yeah, it's really bad goalkeeping.
It's bad defending as well, to be fair, in the build-up.
Does Vardy get was it a Vardy or Maddison shot? I think it was a Vardy shot.
Vardy,
just thinking of the assist.
Harvey Barnes. Again, Gareth Southgate's going to be sitting here now. He's just got more and more problems piling up. These players keep doing well.
Or I tell you what, Barnes has quite a good finish because Martinez is rushing him, and he kind of just bangs it into the top of the net. But
It's
Martinez
bad,
has to save that. He has to catch it.
Yeah, or at least push it out.
Yeah.
Away. He just straight back into the danger zone, isn't it?
23 minutes in. Leicester 2, Villa 0. Good
be a
start from
rout.
Leicester. That is a strong start, isn't it? That's serious. That's serious top 4 contention, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd say they're good value for it as well. They've been all over them. Villa barely got out of their half, right? Yeah, it's such a tough one, isn't it? Even from a striking point of view, you've got Kane, who's obviously going. You've got Calvert-Lewin's probably got a pretty good claim to be going, and then behind him you've got players like Watkins, Wilson,
Bamford,
Ings,
Tammy, although Tammy shouldn't, but
Tammy shouldn't be going. Ings has probably got.
So from those Tobes, we can only pick 4. Probably. You'll probably only take 4 strikers because you'll see the likes of Sterling and Sancho as a forwards-ish. But in terms of actual forwards, he might only take 3 number 9s. So
yeah, I don't think even that. I think he might just
probably
be
3, isn't it?
Calvert-Lewin maybe because Rashford can play there as an
Rashford and Sterling.
If you've got Sancho as well, then you could put Rashford in. Say if Kane was out or whatever, you could have Rashford, Sterling, Sancho.
So who does he take? Kane and DCL, and then let's say he does take 3. He's got 1 more. Is it Bamford, Watkins, Ings?
I'd be taking Ings personally, but I think you can make a pretty good case for Bamford. Probably would be my next choice down. Left-footed, something a little bit different.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Banger? Take someone uncapped? I mean, to be fair, Ings has barely got any caps. Watkins hasn't got any. Bamford hasn't got any.
Walcott,
yeah.
Get Theo back in.
If it's a choice of a third choice, I'll be taking someone for the future. I know Watkins is what? He's 24?
Younger than Bamford.
Younger than Bamford. I'd probably take Watkins, give him a bit of an experience and see, I don't think third choice you're not going to be playing, are you?
Yeah, true. He's probably not going to get any minutes. Whoever
give them
is
some
that spot.
Tournament experience.
Yeah, tried that with Theo in 2006. That didn't help.
No, it didn't.
When Theo Walcott was picked for England, I remember I was at my mate Tomage's house and we saw it flash up on Sky Sports News and we were all like, that's the teenager from Southampton that's not scored a Premier League goal.
I'm not even sure he played a game for Arsenal at that point. And he just moved to Arsenal and hadn't even played a game yet.
Yeah, I think Arsenal had a deal to bring him that summer or something. Yeah. But yeah, he didn't have a Premier League goal. And I think he'd had like 5 caps or appearances.
I think at the time it was all because Rooney was injured and it was maybe to get the spotlight off him.
Okay, yeah.
Possibly, that's what I thought. I remember.
But there must have been good forwards that didn't go. Like, did Defoe go to that World Cup?
That's it. Defoe didn't go to a lot of major tournaments.
I can't remember who went there. Was it Vassell knocking around? No,
Crouch would have gone.
Crouch would have.
Heskey.
Owen.
Heskey came out of retirement, didn't he? Because he injured Ferdinand in training.
I don't know. That sounds like one of those like made-up stories.
No, it's not.
Heskey comes out of retirement and injured our best defender.
He did.
Oh, Barnes in again. It's Maddison on the edge of the box. Oh, good block. Konza. That was like a carbon copy of the first goal. Maddison was in exactly the same position. Kind of looked like he was shaping up to shoot and went for the dummy, and Konza did well there. But Villa are so open.
Leicester look like they're going to score, don't they, every time they go forward?
Are Villa really open, Tobes, or are Leicester just really good?
I think I'm kind of tempted to say Villa look really, really open. Not so much from like their back 4 look okay. There just looks like so much space in between Villa's midfield and their back 4. Like little pockets that Pereira keeps getting into, and Maddison keeps getting into, where they've got no one anywhere near them every time they pick the ball up. And so to me, that's probably says more about Villa's midfield, I think, than their defence.
Bango, in the years gone by, we've looked at Leicester and gone, if we want a Leicester player, attacking player, Vardy all day long, and to get him, you have to spend around £10 million.
Yeah.
Now there's a massive share of points, isn't there? Barnes, not just today, but Barnes and Maddison, they're clocking up Vardy numbers. They're 2-3 million cheaper, and they're so why shop at Vardy when you can have a Barnes or a Mads? Yeah. Are they the two you'd be looking at purely from a value point of view? And obviously we get 5 midfielders and we only get 3 forwards.
Yeah, 100%. And it depends. And like I said, a lot of people in this season in particular have had maybe more budget forwards than traditionally we'd normally have had. We've had knocking around with Bamford, Watkins, people like Wilson as well, didn't they, to start with? And there's a lot of cheaper options up front. Then you can put the money towards, like say, Kane as well.
Yeah.
If you did want to spend a bit bigger and have a decent Leicester asset for better value.
Yeah.
Just looking, doing mini league watch. Our boys mini league. Michael Healy, who's putting up.
Has he got Maddison?
Got rid of Harvey Barnes this week. Brought in Rafinha for him. So
good.
Got rid of Barnes ahead of the fixtures that Leicester are about to go on.
Well, yeah. To be fair, he brought in Rafinha and captained him. So he obviously had big. And to be fair,
who are his other midfielders? I just wonder if he could have sold one of the other four. I mean,
Salah, Sterling, Bruno, and Souček.
I mean, why keep Souček? They don't have a double.
I don't know, mate. I'm just a messenger.
Yeah, that was a bad move. I mean, also, we should probably talk a little bit about Salah because I think there's a lot of people in the chat that are probably looking to bring some money through for Harry Kane next week, and a big move in the community will to get Harry Kane. Because bearing in mind, no one's got that striker spot with 11 million tied up. So to get Harry Kane, you've got to find money from your midfield. And Salah is often used as a make weight for those big funds. Tobes, is that a move you're still looking at? Salah down to Maddison, for example, to give you enough for Kane?
Yeah, so that was I kind of put together a bit of a rough plan a few weeks ago. And yeah, the plan this week was to do Salah to Maddison and Shea Adams to Kane. I've been looking forward to getting rid of Shea Adams for some time now. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because that first fixture of Liverpool's double, which is Sheffield United, you're just thinking, oh, do I want to take out Salah for Sheffield United? And, you know, you could easily see Salah scoring a hat-trick, getting loads of confidence, then having a good game against Chelsea, scoring a goal. And then you look like an idiot for taking out Salah, who scores 4 goals across 2 game weeks. But equally, I bet if you look at his returns over the last 12, 13, 14 game weeks.
So bad.
Yeah, 8 or 9 blanks in there. Liverpool are playing really, really badly at the moment. Leicester, on the other hand, are playing really well. Maddison scored again today. Plus, it enables you to get in a Harry Kane for the double, who I would probably be looking to captain, I think, next week as well. So I think unless something pretty serious happens, I'll probably still be getting rid of Salah. The only annoying thing I've got to wait on is the Grealish injury news. I need to find out how long he's out for. If there's a chance he's obviously going to be fit again, I mean, that for me that's ideal. I could really do with Grealish being fit for the next game. If he's going to be out for 6 weeks, I've probably got to take a 4-point hit to do something with him.
I'm going to come to you both to ask you about Barnes and Maddison in the next minute, but just want to update you on a big game in Italy, the Milan derby. After 5 minutes, Inter have gone 1-0 up, and guys, the goal. Lukaku doesn't get it. It's his strike partner Martinez, and they have to be the best strike partnership in Europe. I mean, there isn't many in terms of that play with the front two. Inter do. Since Lukaku has been playing under Conte, he's so much quicker. Like, he's always been quick and powerful, but he's lost weight and the pace, and he puts in a beautiful ball for Martinez, who's actually really good in the air, despite being, 5'9". And yeah, 1-0 Inter.
Jan, where Lukaku just absolutely burnt somebody from like the halfway line. I was like, I've never seen Lukaku do that before.
Yeah, and he's just done it again. I can't remember what game that was. What game was that? Yeah,
Juve.
I think it was the Juve game.
Yeah,
he's so quick. Like, he's got an extra yard of pace, which, considering he's 26, you don't usually see in a 26-year-old.
He's only 26, is he?
Yeah,
that's amazing, isn't it? He feels like he's been around forever. Like, he spent time at West Brom, didn't he? Everton, United. Yeah, still only 26. It's amazing.
He was proper lean at West Brom and Everton, wasn't he?
Was that when he was a Chelsea player? We loaned him to West Brom, I think, didn't we?
One of the long list of Chelsea players that got loaned out. Salah, De Bruyne, Lukaku. The list is pretty distinguished.
Yeah, he scored a hat-trick against United.
Oh, of course he did. Was that on the final day of the season, wasn't it?
Fergie's last game, yeah. Lukaku hat-trick, 5-5.
Sorry, just to go back to the game though, actually a really good chance for Konsa, who just sort of ducked under the ball from a corner. Yeah. He would have had a free header about 5 yards out, and I don't think he was expecting it to get to him. But yeah, if he hadn't ducked under it, it would have been a free header.
So coming back briefly to the Barnes and Maddison chat, I'm just looking. I'm just trying to find some news on Grealish, because there's been some activity in the chat about it, there being a kind of tweet about Grealish state. But yeah, I can't see anything. Yeah, you're set on Maddison over Barnes, Tobes, and then I'll come to you on the same question, Bang, because I'm also looking at Leicester midfielders, and I think I'm not sold.
No, I actually wouldn't say I am. Like, I think you can make a pretty good case for either or at the moment. obviously Barnes saves you 0.5 million, but the only issue is minutes potentially. Without looking at it, I'm trying to pull it up now. Harvey Barnes, I was going to say getting his minutes managed more than Maddison, but looking at it, he really isn't, is he? Like the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like the last 12 or 13, he's played 90 minutes in nearly all of them, except one where he came off with 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, take that.
He's playing 90 pretty much every single week. Madison, again, without looking, trying to kind of just pull it up now, I imagine is probably similar. Looking at Madison's, he's the last 10 game weeks, he's played 90 pretty much every single week. So minutes is the same. Output has been very, very similar across that. Do you just look at it and go as simple as Barnes is going to save you 0.5 million, which, at this stage of the season could be quite important. I don't know. The more I kind of think about it, the more I kind of feel like maybe Barnes is the better option. What do you guys think?
Banger?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think Barnes. I think, was it last season Maddison, he hit a great run of form and then he sort of ducked out a bit as well. Was it towards the end of the season? I can't remember. Was it last season? But I think Barnes, as we spoke about earlier as well, was a bit of a makeshift striker, which might also give him a bit of an edge.
Yeah, he's definitely more advanced. If you look at heat maps, although Maddison is more advanced than normal, Barnes is still in front of him.
Yeah, I think. And same for England pick as well. If I had to pick one for England, it would be Barnes.
Yeah,
I think if
do you, Jan? I know Banger, you haven't either got any Leicester coverage at all. Is that something you want to change?
I was big on it's a possibility, but I wanted to watch today's game. I was big because I actually feel like for some reason recently, although I've been watching most games, the Leicester games I've not been kind of studying. I've probably had an eye on whilst watching something else. So I feel like I haven't watched Leicester closely in a while, really closely. And I guess I'm not right now, but I like Barnes. I really do. I think the fixtures are great. And actually, some in the chat have said, is the double up even on, but with the Grealish injury? Apparently, Greg Evans on Twitter has said he'll miss out today through injury, and then he'll be assessed. So we just don't know when there'll be a. I guess we'll hear more from Dean Smith post match, won't we, about Grealish?
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, the double up isn't on because Leicester don't play in 29.
True.
I've already got in my team. I've got Bamford and Dallas and Cresswell who don't play in 29. They're my kind of three that don't, and I need 12 others that do because I'm because you. Sorry, I'm getting confused here between the 26 and the 29. I'm going to be like dead ending my team into 29 and 30 and then wildcarding in 31. So yeah, I don't really want to have to be making or taking a bunch of hits in order to be able to field 11 in game week 29 because currently I can do that, assuming Grealish is going to be available with just one hit, which I'm quite pleased about.
There are a few teams that double in 26 and also play in 29, but there's not many. There's literally like 3 or 4. I think Fulham are one of them, just looking now. So Villa, they get the double in 26 and they play in 29. So, there you go, guys. If you don't have your free hit, look at Villa players. Fulham the same. They got Crystal Palace, Tottenham in 26. Then they play Leeds in 29. And I think that might... Oh, no, okay. Tottenham as well. Tottenham playing both.
Yeah.
So there must be one more team. There's a couple, but not many.
Yeah.
Banger, what's your chip strategy? Tobes has kind of alluded to his, that he's trying to get an 11 out, knowing most will be free hitting in 29. Tobes will get the 11 out there, dead end his team, and then wildcard out off the back of it in 30-31. What are you looking at, Banger?
That was I had a similar plan. Did briefly consider, because I was looking obviously when Spurs, I knew that was confirmed, and Villa their fixtures after 29, because it wildcarding before 29, knowing if Spurs, Villa, is it who else is playing 29? Is it? You say Brighton as well? Yeah,
Brighton, Fulham, a few rubbish teams, Arsenal, West Ham.
I'd happily could have considered wildcarding as well for 29 with 3 Spurs assets, knowing their fixtures after, and again with Villa. And I'd happily have Sanchez, Brighton keeper, as a backup keeper to play in that week as well.
Yeah.
But I think I was looking to dead end as well and use my wild card. But I think, I'm undecided. I've sort of thrown myself unneeded, challenges, I think, since getting rid of Son.
You've both got your triple captain chips. There's a big double next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just doesn't bother me at all, knowing how many more little double game weeks we're going to see between now and the end of the season. There'll be lots. There won't be big double game weeks, but there'll be lots of good teams that have 2 good doubles.
If you've already bench boosted though, it's a good week to use it.
Yeah.
But if you've got your bench boost, it's just that it's a gimme, right?
Yeah, totally. If you don't have your bench boost, then yeah, I'd be sticking probably triple captain on Harry Kane or Son all day long.
Yeah, it's 2 good fixtures. And also, it's probably in and around it. My fear with double game weeks this time of the season is European football. And giving it to a Man City player or even a Liverpool player between a Champions League tie, you just don't know. But with Spurs, I don't know if there's between their 2 26 fixtures if they are playing Europa League, but it might be the one after or the one before. If it is, it's the second tie against Wolfsburg and they're going to be playing the kids. So your Kane and Son bets, they're both going to get 180 minutes.
Yeah,
totally. I mean, Son, more chance of getting his minutes managed than Kane, even if Spurs did have a game against Wolfsburg that was really critical. Like, say, if we'd drawn 0-0 in Budapest, Kane's still going to play 90 minutes in both Spurs Premier League games. He just will, unless he's injured. He just plays. Like, we know that. Every single manager does it. Gareth Southgate does it with England. Mourinho did it. Pochettino did it. He plays 90 minutes unless he's injured. It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
Peter Pedder says, what about Vardy triple captain? Again, Leicester got 2 fixtures, but I don't know what what was the result of their first Europa League game tie? I think it was a close one. And again, Vardy probably plays in that, and therefore I'd be worried about minutes managed knowing Vardy's track record of injuries. I think Vardy triple captain, Pedder, wouldn't be one for me. I'd rather give it to Barnes, to be honest.
Yeah, Vardy's record against Arsenal, though, I think he's got a great record scoring against them.
Leicester drew 0-0 against Slavia Prague, so that second leg is still quite a big game for them.
Yeah, it's very big.
It's at Leicester, though, will it be played at Leicester? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, the English ones are good, aren't they? Banger, would you just check out the United team news? I know it's not confirmed yet, but there's rumours that there's no Cavani in the matchday squad. Just let me know if you see anything on Twitter.
Yeah, I did hear that earlier on, that he is out, but again, it's...
Is it just hearsay at the moment? Nothing.
Yeah, you take it with a pinch of salt, isn't it? At the minute, it's.
What I thought was remarkable was we all had the Grealish rumours for the last 48 hours. 20 minutes before kickoff, there was still nothing confirmed. Before team news, there was nothing confirmed about Grealish today. They did well to keep that under wraps, Villa. I know the rumours were there, but there was nothing confirmed.
Is there a case for Premier League management to stop allowing their players to be playing FPL, because the level of sleuthing going on, the reason Grealish rumours became big was because somebody worked out that about 4 quite key Villa personnel had transferred Grealish out.
How did they know that before the deadline though? That Matt Targett had transferred out Grealish? Well, we didn't know that before the how do you can't see someone's team till after the deadline?
No, I saw a route again. This is just hearsay, but someone. I think it was Target or Instagram story their team or something, and they deleted it quickly. And because I've seen a couple of screenshots of that, but again, I don't know. I think it was Target or someone, might have been someone else. But I've heard various stories. It might have been that case, or again, it could just be standard nonsense.
I love that Bamford has captained himself again this game week, obviously, but he obviously plays it. He's also got Rafinha in his team again, and interestingly, Bamford's third Leeds player. Any guesses who it is?
Is it going to be someone? Is it someone quite rogue?
It's not. It's
Rodrigo?
not. It's not template. Put it that way. No.
Alioski?
No.
No. Harrison?
No. He went defender, but he didn't go Dallas. He went Eiling. And I think he's had him all season, but loads went Eiling over Dallas. And when you look at the XG, it's bang on, the two of them. But Dallas has been getting returns. Dallas actually spoke to the FPL show this week and did who's most likely to score, who's most likely to assist sort of interview. And my wife was watching and went, "Who's that?" And I was like, Stuart Dallas. She was like, "Oh, he's good looking, and he's got a nice accent as well." I was like, "Yeah, he's from Northern Ireland." And I was watching it, going, "He does look like that bloke that was the is it James Dornan or Jamie Dornan? Who's the actor?"
I don't know.
He was the actor that was.
What's the film?
The film. He was like the film which was like the Valentine's Day film, and it was like loads of sex.
No, I think that's the film you just watched.
No, 50 Shades. 50 Shades.
That guy.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Stuart Dallas,
In my life.
he's from 50 Shades, and I think he's got an American accent in that, but he's from Northern Ireland, and he actually speaks just like Stuart Dallas. And yeah, the girls love him apparently.
So yeah, you've got a bit of competition.
I know. It's like a dagger to the heart, that, especially because I don't even own Dallas. I was like, no, it's rubbish. Matt Targett getting a bit of love down the left. He seems to be Villa's best attacking asset at the moment. He's getting forward. He's had a few crosses in, but yeah, they don't look likely to score. Watkins, without Grealish, it's going to be a really interesting second half because they just lack that creativity, like any team would without your boy Jack.
I just think, Grealish is such a good player, and you take him out of any team, and it's going to make a huge difference, right? Like you'd suggest that. I say Grealish is as important to Villa as like Bruno is to United, for example. Like you take Bruno out of United and you watch him and you think, Christ, where are they going to score a goal? You're kind of thinking the same thing here, right? Villa just don't really look like they've got many kind of ideas going forward.
Yeah, exactly that. The first half has flown by. 44 minutes on the clock already. Villa getting a corner. It's just the first corner they've had. They've been quite useful at set pieces, Villa. Clearance from Leicester. But yeah, Grealish, Tobes, you say obviously massive miss, and he is. In recent weeks, he's not been getting those sort of big returns we've been used to. He recently said in an interview, I think a few days back, teams have started to double up on him and he's found it more and more difficult. It's no surprise though, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. But equally, you kind of feel, don't you, when you've got that situation, what that does, that removes a defensive player from somewhere else on the pitch that Villa should be able to exploit, and it's coming up with a way to do that, because as we know, the best players in the world, like Ronaldo, spent most of his career being man marked. Heung-min Son gets man marked by two players often, but the best players in the world find a way of dealing with it, and they do deal with it. And yeah, I've no doubt that Grealish will overcome that because he's that good. Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you on that. And we're going to be talking, I think we've kind of confirmed it, we're going to go with the England team chat at half-time, which is coming up. And we are collectively, as three people that will disagree on some positions and agree on others, come up with our 11. And it's an 11, well, I'll run through the T's and C's in just a sec when loads of people will join us during the half-time. Villa pressing for an equal, a token goal just before half-time. But I can't see him getting it. Leicester pretty good at the back. I can't remember Schmeichel making a save banger.
No, he's been quiet, to say the least. I think the last-ditch tackle we saw when Toby mentioned earlier in the start of the game. Other than that, they haven't really had Con's had a free header, but that went miles out. Other than that, it's been quiet.
It has been, and the whistle's gone. So we got 2-0. And I'd say that's fair. Leicester have been good value for their two. The goals weren't kind of massively high XG goals. Certainly not the Maddison one, but they've had a couple of other chances. Martinez made a few saves. It is a -1 for Martinez, which he's not had a while, for 2 goals conceded. So yeah, that'll be interesting, knowing he's got such high ownership. So guys, let's turn our attention to the England team in the Euros. There was a bit of love on Twitter for it this week. Let's create our 11. It's really hard to do an 11 to go depending on the opponent, right? So I feel like we should stick with what we saw online, and that is...
I think first game. We've got Croatia. Croatia. Okay. It's a tough game.
Croatia first game. Yeah, okay. That's slightly better than, I guess, the final against France.
I don't want to get too excited for a final because I think that's... Okay. Yeah.
So let's start in goal. Are we all agreed that it's got to be Pope?
No.
Yeah. Good start. I am agreed. I think Pope is the best keeper. I've said it before. I don't think Pickford really has any business being in the squad, let alone first team. I think I'd have Pope and Henderson miles ahead of Pickford. I wouldn't be that bothered if putting Henderson ahead of Pope, but to me, Pope deserves
it. Yeah, we're not even going to give airtime to debating it because Tobes and I are going to go 2-1. Sorry, banger. Louis Ashton, Joe Hart in net. I don't know about that, mate. And do get involved in the chat. And by the way, guys, this is not a fantasy football scout England 11. This is a pentagon, which is banger, me and Tobes 11. Okay, I don't want to be talking for others. Nuclear says Pope is dope. Love that. Pope.
Pickford won Everton the game yesterday.
None of them were worldie saves.
They were. There was a couple in there. He kept him in it. I think yesterday's Pickford was the old Pickford.
All right, let's move on to right back because Leo Wang has given us his 11, which looks very good, Leo. I must admit, that's very similar to what I saw Toby share on our WhatsApp thread a couple of days ago. You've gone Leo, James at right back. I'm a big fan of that. Discuss.
I really like Reece James, which as a Spurs fan is a difficult thing to say. But yeah, I think Reece James is great. I just think it's too early for him. He's got plenty of time to develop and become a world-class right back. I think we've already kind of got one in Trent, and I know it's easy and fashionable to kind of deride that at the moment, given that Liverpool have been really bad. Yeah. Trent can potentially be a little bit suspect going backwards defensively, but he's a weapon. That right foot, he's on free kicks, he's on corners. When he's playing in a good team that's playing well, I think Trent's brilliant, and I don't think you can really look past Trent personally. Okay,
so Tove's on Trent. I'm on. Sanjay says Trent. Wan-Bissaka we've got. Louis Ashton says Tony Hibbert. Love that. Okay, banger. Looks like you're going to have the casting vote. I know you're not considering Wan-Bissaka, so it's James or Trent for you.
I'd be starting Trent. I would still take Wan-Bissaka.
What, over Reece James?
Who would you rather have Mbappe facing? If we were playing France at some point.
Okay, I'll give Croatia banger. We're playing Croatia, not France.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is just we're not talking about the squad here.
No, I'm starting Trent.
All right. I'll give you Reece. I'll let up on Reece James because there is one guy I'm not going to be letting up on in about 5 minutes' time, and I'll be calling that little wild card, that joker, when I need to. Okay, so we're going to play 4-3-3. I think we're agreed on. So our two centre backs. Okay, I
think 3 at the back.
No, we're playing a 4-3-3 for clarity on this one. Guys in the chat, you're all giving us your 11s, which is brilliant. Harder for me to pick up on all those positions though, so just give me your 2 centre backs because we'll take that into account because this is really difficult. And I must admit, I'm there to be convinced because I really don't know who I'd take. My problems with the likes of Mings and Konza and Tarkowski and Dunk and Keane, they're all good centre-backs. I just don't know if they've played in international football long enough to go, yeah, they can do it. Obviously, Stones, Maguire and Gomez have, but those 3, if they played for middle-of-the-road teams, they wouldn't be in. The fact they play for United, City and Liverpool make them England-worthy, and I don't agree with that. And I think they're all very average defenders. Stones I really like, but he has to play next to a Diaz. And unless you've got Diaz...
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like on paper, you kind of think Stones has got to be a shoo-in here, but I think Stones next to Diaz versus Stones next to Maguire you're going to get a very different John Stones.
Okay, in the chat we got Stones Cody, Konza Stones, Maguire Stones, Stones 100%, Stones Maguire, Mings Stones, Stones Konza a lot, Stones Cody, Stones Maguire. So everyone is kind of saying Stones, and I can't help but think that's probably because he's been a hero in FPL recently. But we'll go for Stones as one position because we're all kind of there. Who's the other position? First, Bangs, I'll come to you. Who'd you partner Stones with?
I think I would, and I think Southgate will Maguire. I think it'll be Maguire, Stones. I'd personally have Walker at right centre-back if I was playing a back 3 as well, because I think that worked in the last World Cup. It worked really well.
Until they play Croatia and Walker had a nightmare.
Until we played Croatia, but that was a...
Okay, so you go Maguire.
I'd have Maguire and Stones.
Tobes?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's much of a muchness with a lot of England. I wouldn't be that disappointed if you paired Stones with Konza, Maguire.
There's a lot of love for Konza in the chat, I must admit.
I don't think there's all that much in it, but I think maybe you go then with experience, and I think Maguire, fair enough.
Oh, Ben says Stones and Godfrey. We've got surely Cody. I actually put Cody in my 11 and got slated for it on Twitter.
Godfrey's a great shout, to be fair, to be in the squad.
Yeah, you could argue Holgate as well.
Yeah.
Konza, there's a lot for Konza, but we are watching Aston Villa Leicester, so I'm thinking there's probably a lot of Villa fans watching. So we'll go with Maguire, because Tobes, you're happy with that, and Banger, you went there. Personally, I'd play, if it was with Stones, I probably would play Maguire. I'd love to put a wild card in there, like a Konza or even a Cody. Cody's captain material, though. I'll settle on Maguire. Left back. Let us know your left back, guys. Just one word for left back. That'd be great. The options are Chilwell.
got to be Shaw, isn't it?
Saka and Shaw. They're the three, I'd say.
Yeah,
I would have had Justin. He would have been my starter personally. I thought he's been.
I'd agree with that. I'd have gone
now
Justin, but he's got no
out.
chance.
No,
So
gutted for him.
I'll happily concede on Chilwell. I personally would be going Shaw or Saka. Do you know what? I said. Oh, Tomori. No, I don't know. Needs more time.
Tomori, come on.
CHI Doe says it. All right, Saka or Shaw then? Or does anyone? Do any of us want Chilwell?
No.
No.
I'd be going Shaw. I think Shaw's been really good this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, form. I think you got to have Shaw in there.
Banger, can Shaw play if England get to the final? 6 games? Is it 6? In a month? Or in maybe less than a month.
Maybe
actually,
less than a month it'll be.
It is less than unless they're really lucky with the draw.
Yeah, no, I don't think he can. If he's been
Oh, there's a
lucky
lot.
not.
Sorry, Banger. A lot of love for Cresswell. A lot of love for Shaw. Again, I think it's FPL
Cresswell,
rose tinted glasses.
Cresswell. No, I think Cresswell could be we've
don't
overlooked
dislike
him.
the Cresswell shout. I'd probably
No.
have Cresswell in there over Chilwell personally.
Yeah, in fact,
I'm
I
not
would.
a fan of Chilwell at all. Dan Burn's come up a few times. Interesting.
wouldn't
4.2
have
million
Dan
Dan Burn. Personally, I'd go Saka, but I think in a Euros, yeah, I get why you'd go Shaw, and maybe Saka plays 2 of the games.
Cresswell could be a great shot. He's decent set pieces as well. Do we have another left footer?
Mason Mounts on all the set pieces, mate. That's why he's in the team. All right, so we got our back 4. Let's go for the midfield 3. So we're all agreed on Hendo. We don't need to discuss Hendo, I don't think.
Yeah.
So
that's fair enough.
so assuming it's a midfield 3 with. Do we need 2 fairly defensively minded players in there? I think, knowing it's a Euros and we've got defensive frailties already. I say we. I'm not an England fan. So would we all agree on Rice and Hendo?
Yeah, I think.
No.
I would, but what we're not going to agree on is then the reason I would go with Rice and Hendo is because for me that allows you to play Grealish in a midfield 3 because you've got more defensively minded Rice and Henderson. I would rather have Grealish playing on the left wing, but I think the best way of getting Grealish on the pitch while still getting like Sancho and Sterling on the pitch, I think you need is to play Grealish in that midfield 3. That allows you, I think, to get the most number of your best players on the pitch.
But Gareth's just not going to go for that.
I know, but that's what I would do.
All right, no, I appreciate that. I'm with you, and I think Grealish is a shoo-in. I think we're all agreed Grealish should be in the 11, which does probably for me leaves our only option and as the left forward in the 3.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think it will.
it's how can you leave out like a Sterling or a Sancho there? That's a massive call to make, right?
Yeah, you might have to play Sterling on the right, but then you leave out Sancho. Okay, look, let's go Hendo. Banger, who would your... Okay, let's all just give our midfield 3. Mine's Hendo, Mount and Rice.
Mine's Hendo, Mount, and Grealish.
Oh, that's attacking, Banger.
Yeah, that is attacking. Mine would be Hendo, Rice, and Grealish.
I don't think it is. I think Mount knocks the ball around quickly. I think if he's disciplined.
To be fair,
enough,
last time Mount played for England, it was in a midfield 2
Yeah.
with Rice. So we could consider that, and then that gets us Grealish in the middle, Tobes.
Henderson and Rice is just it's just not. We've got all these.
All right, so that means Rice is on the bench. So we're going to go Hendo. Let's go all out attack because it's game 1.
Or
And
Rice over Hendo, whatever you want to do. But yeah,
I think I would go Hendo over Rice for experience.
Yeah.
Tobes?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. All right, so we go Hendo, Mount, and let's go Grealish in the middle. This is all out attack. Oh, Bellingham's coming up a lot. No.
Bellingham.
No. They retired his shirt at Birmingham, so he must be useful. I mean, I've not watched him enough.
So weird, so weird.
Gianni's Chelsea bias. Don't give it to me, Ishmael. Don't even go there. There's a lot of Mount love in the chat as well. Louis keen on the Bellingham move as well. Okay. Front 3, bearing in mind Grealish has already gone. So we're all agreed Sterling has to be in there.
Yeah.
Sterling, Rashford, and Kane for me.
Sterling, Rashford. You'd play Rashford on the right.
No,
Sterling can play on the right.
I'd have Sterling on the right.
I personally, Rashford gets nowhere near this 11 for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just think it's really difficult to look past Kane, Sterling, and Sancho. I think they're your 3
So
best.
no Foden, Tobes.
No. I love Foden, but I just think, and again, like you could even talk about. I know it's opening another can of worms. You could talk about Foden as playing in that midfield 3, but then you go like, I mean, why not just have Grealish, Foden, and like Mount in your midfield three and go all out attack, and it then starts to get a bit silly. But yeah, I think Foden probably makes my bench, but
first sub, maybe even.
Yeah. Because I do love him. I think he's brilliant.
Lewis Hall says Sterling, Kane and Foden. So Lewis, you wouldn't have Sancho. I do feel for Sancho is because we're all Premier League fans, unless you watch the Bundesliga, you perhaps don't fully appreciate him. And I certainly don't watch the Bundesliga and haven't seen enough of the kid. His numbers are impressive and there's no denying that. But he's also in a very attacking team, in a team that score a huge amount of goals. So that in a league we don't know too well. So it's a tough one.
And also, to be fair, like Sancho, the last few times he's played for England hasn't actually been that.
I don't think he's had one very good game for England, period.
No, and I think a lot of people, like you say, maybe people that don't watch the Bundesliga a lot, will just go, yeah, what does he do? And as I say, like you, Jen, I'm kind of one of those. I don't watch that much of the Bundesliga, but I'm basing what I say on stats, really.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got Sancho, Kane and Sterling. Do you disagree with any of those, Banger?
Yeah, Rashford's had 29 goals and assists for Rashford so far this season. I'm not having this, just dropping him like that. 17 goals and he's 11 assists.
I can't go anywhere near the Rashford bang.
Linking up with Luke Shaw.
For me, the discussion is Foden or Sancho.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough as well.
In fact, I'd sack Sancho.
Sancho was good against Kosovo, apparently, according to James. Thank you, James. Yeah, exactly. My point proven there. Oh, Barnes, King and Antonio. Who's King? If you mean Josh King, he's Norwegian.
In fact,
maybe Ledley.
Bring back Declan Rice. We'll have him and Hendo in the middle, and then have Sancho as a number 10. Sterling, Rashford either side, and Kane. That is all
you
out.
can't go changing the midfield. Now we're on to the forwards. First, you want to change the system. Oh, okay. Peder agrees with Luke. Interesting. Are you a United fan as well, Peder? All right. So, Banger, we'll give you the casting vote because I'm actually Foden instead of Sancho. So, is it Sancho or Foden?
Sancho.
All right. Great. So, we've got 4-3-3, Pope, Trent, Stones, Maguire and Shaw. Hendo, Mount, Grealish, Sancho, Kane and Sterling. That's a good 11.
Basically the 11 I picked the other day, except Mount was out for Rice, I think.
Did you have Maguire? No, you had Konza.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I had Konza and Maguire, I think.
I don't think the 11 will be anything like this. I'm going on record.
We're going to play three at the back, aren't we?
All right. Should we do what? We've got a minute to do what we think the 11 will be. So it'll be Pickford. I think it will be. It'll be three at the back. Walker. Stones.
I'm all for three at the back. I think that's our best option.
It'll be Walker, Stones, Maguire. Definitely. It will definitely be Rice, Henderson, Mount in the middle. Are we agreed with that? In terms of what we think Gareth will do.
No, not if it's five at the back. Not if we're
it'll be four.
It'll be two in the middle, and I think it'll be Hendo or Mount.
Yeah, Hendo, Mount. I think I agree with you there. It will be.
And then I think it'll be Kane with two pace either side. It'll be Sterling, Rashford, or Sancho.
Okay, so who are the wing backs?
Trent and.
I think he'll play Shaw.
So I think he'll play Saka. I don't know.
I think he'll play Chilwell.
Surely not.
It'll probably be Cresswell. I don't know.
Surely not with Chilwell. Like Chilwell can't even get a game at Chelsea now, can he? I mean, that's going to.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say he goes Shaw. I actually think he'll go Reece James over Trent.
Maybe Trent at left back.
He's not been playing Trent.
He played Trent on the left.
He did play Trent on the left.
Might be an option in swingers for Harry Kane.
All right. What's his front three going to be? He'll definitely play Sterling and Kane.
It'll be Rashford. I
think it probably will be Rashford.
Yeah, I think it probably will be.
So we're saying he won't play Foden or Grealish?
I don't think Grealish is I don't think you can play Grealish as a winger when you've got Harry Kane in the middle. I think you've got a fast centre forward. I think Kane drops back as well. With Kane dropping back, you need pace on the wings. And for that reason, I don't think Grealish will be on the wing.
This team is rubbish.
That team got to a semi-final of a World Cup.
All right, so the team we're going with, we think he will play, and the game's about to kick off, so we're back to FPL very soon. We think he's going to go Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Reece James, Hendo, Mount and Shaw, Rashford, Kane, Sterling.
It is a rubbish team. I'd hate it if we played that, but it probably is what he's going to play.
The only one I'm not sure about is Luke Shaw, because he's not been in the England squad for the last couple of years, I don't think. But there isn't really another obvious option. Maybe it is Trent, that left back.
And also, Shaw's not been playing in in a wing-back role, is he? He plays in a back four, which Southgate won't like.
And when United have played a back three, he's actually played Shaw as a left centre-back.
Centre-back, yeah. But
Jay Lings, says Louis Ashton, no chance. I gave Banger 2-1 that he doesn't make the squad.
I'll give Banger 10-1.
Name your price, Banger. We'll both offer it. Name your odds.
Yeah, no chance. If Lingard gets picked to the squad, then I'm done. I'm defecting to Italy.
Well, if he carries on playing like he has been, then surely there's a... Obviously not, it's early to say now, but if Lingard carries on his form, surely there's a... If we're saying his pick on form, which, by the way, I don't agree with.
Understand, Banger. Pickford has been dreadful in the Premier League for about 2 years now, and you still want him. And Lingard has 2 good games, and you want him in the squad.
No. Pickford, I've said, because Southgate plays out from the back, and Pope doesn't do that. He plays for Burnley.
Yeah, but Pickford's not great with his feet. I know he's meant to be, but his passing's rubbish too.
It's not. He gets it playing out well, and I think he deserves a bit of slack. From the last World Cup, I know it's 3 years ago, but he deserves a bit more than sack him off. I think Colombia, mate. What a night that was.
That was fun. I actually put my back out so badly that I had to go for like 5 massages in 5 days ahead of my wedding because I couldn't walk.
You're not even an England fan, Joe.
Yeah, but I was at Box Park, so I was in a bloody mosh pit getting jumped on when that penalty shootout was on. And yeah, it was my wedding like a week later, and I was like, I'm in no fit state to even walk down the aisle. I couldn't move. So I had sports massages for 5 days on the trot. Put my back out. I'm how old? I sound like an old bloke.
What a 4 weeks that was. Can I just jump back to Heskey quickly, injuring Rio Ferdinand? That was the 2010 World Cup. Ferdinand was ruled out of the entire tournament.
Was that South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a clash with Heskey in training.
Wow. Who was the goalkeeper in that World Cup? Because they made an error.
Robinson, wasn't it?
Was it Green?
Oh, Green, America. It wasn't against America.
Oh, action. Oh, we've had a goal. It's Bertrand Traore by the looks of it. Hang on. What's going on here? Schmeichel's all over him.
Yeah, Bertrand Traore. It looked like a target assist.
Schmeichel's not happy. Don't know why.
Yeah, Traore's not done anything wrong. And I think Schmeichel's just annoyed that he's conceded
He's
a goal.
gone for a 50-50 ball and scored it.
Yeah, exactly.
Schmeichel jumped out doing it like a star jump, didn't he?
Yeah.
I've got the replay now. It's Mings out to Target, and Target a really nice 1-2 with McGinn. And Target, great ball in. I don't know if McGinn touches it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Target's going to get the assist here. I think there's a touch.
Oh, that's harsh if there is. Do you reckon there's a touch there?
I don't think there is. But what the hell is Schmeichel doing? Traore does absolutely nothing wrong.
There's a touch by the Leicester defender, I think.
It's actually a really well taken goal from Traore because he's about to get clattered. He sort of does get clattered by Schmeichel, who almost kind of like stamps him.
I think Schmeichel's thinking he's going to not hit it straight away like he does. I don't know. We were talking about Sunday League earlier. That's Schmeichel, like some guy from the Chippy jumping out doing star jumps.
The good news is it's a clean sheet wipeout, and none of us have any Leicester defensive assets.
Although I'm not sure many do now. Justin's injured. I was thinking this earlier. Who in that Leicester defence has got decent ownership? Maybe Schmeichel's got 10%. I don't
know. There'll be some. They won't be big, but there'll be some.
Oh, assist TBC from the Premier League. Come on, Target. I need a Target assist here. He's my first sub. He's very likely to come on.
Is he? For who?
Cancelo, Gundogan, Foden. Take your pick.
They're all going to get minutes.
No, I don't know. I don't think they will. I think Gundogan and Foden are both going to be benched, and I think only one comes on.
Oh, bloody called Traore before the game, didn't I, as well?
You did call Traore. Makes for a very interesting second half we've got here, guys. So it's Villa 1, Leicester 2, 49 minutes played. I'm still waiting for the Premier League to confirm that. Knowing they've tweeted TBC, someone's tweeted saying, give it to Grealish. Yeah.
Traore 0.5% owned as well, by the way.
Oh, some
0.5%. He is differential.
Considering he plays every game. Guys, some breaking news. Gundogan has arrived with the Man City squad this afternoon. So Gundogan is in the squad. I think that's really harsh if Target doesn't get the assist because the pass was intended.
Yeah, but if McGinn gets a touch on it, you can't give McGinn and Target the assist.
No, agreed. If McGinn gets a touch, fair enough. But I'm pretty sure McGinn doesn't get the touch. I think a Leicester City defender might.
Yeah, I think if a Leicester City defender gets a touch, then you give the assist to Target. But yeah, if McGinn gets a touch, then it's McGinn's assist. Right?
Yeah, there's people in the chat. Jack reckons McGinn did get a touch. Istak thinks the same. Well, until the Premier League have tweeted it, it's probably not confirmed. Although I'm going to check the app and just check, because sometimes that Twitter can be behind. So, the app has given it to McGinn. But knowing that there was a tweet saying TBC, I would ignore the app.
Yeah, they often change it. They got it wrong the other day, I think, didn't they? They gave an assist to Son or something, I think, when he didn't get on.
Yeah, Martinez, by the way, on 3 saves, standard.
Cool.
Ignore the app until we know from what the tweet is. The tweet says TBC, guys, so just hold your horses there. Sam Martin said, Leicester defence has a total of less than 1% ownership. Wow. I guess that takes out Schmeichel. He's probably the highest owned.
We one player that we sort of talked about it, who I've been really unimpressed with today, has been Watkins. Like, Watkins just hasn't looked like he's going to have a sniff of scoring a goal.
Yeah, the Grealish thing, isn't it?
Yeah, partly possibly down to the fact Grealish is out. But yeah, I mean, if Grealish is going to be out for a few games, I don't think I'd be wanting Watkins. I think I still might consider someone like Traore, but
yeah. Well, looking at it, especially in this half so far, Watkins has been quite left-sided, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we saw Traore down the middle a lot in that first half. But I think Watkins is, on paper, is playing as the 9 up front, and when we see it now, he is. But in certain phases of play, he's happy to drift wide and allow Traore down. Guys, we'll get Man City team news in 15 minutes, which is pretty big, because the team news of Man City is going to affect just about every FPL manager out there, because we've all got at least one City asset, but also there's loads of DCL and Antonio bench. They're on the bench of a lot of managers, so these guys might be coming on for you. For example, I've got...
What's your prediction, Jan? I know we normally do...
should we play the game?
Batici's Man City lineup predictor. I think we should do it.
Do you know what? I've not given it much thought, but I could go off the top of my head.
I've stitched you up here, haven't I?
All right. Let's think about this. Who was benched last time out? That's where I always start with. Who were the big name casualties last time? Am I right in thinking Stones didn't start? He played.
Aguero and De Bruyne were on the bench last time. They might be a surprise.
Oh, Maddison's just gone down. Check that out, guys. Doesn't look. I don't know if he's rolled an ankle or.
Oh yeah, it looked like maybe a little rattling of his ankle.
We should monitor that.
Oh yeah, he swiped and just. I don't know if he completely missed the ball or whether he got.
He sort of goes for a bit of an air kick, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if the defender caught him as well at the same. Whether it's.
Right, Man City. So who was benched for Man City last time? They had De Bruyne was on the bench, Fernandinho, Torres, Mendy, Zinchenko, Aguero, Garcia. Stones was benched. So
right, Stones starts.
Yeah,
Zinchenko.
Foden, Sterling started. Bilba started. Jesus started, and Mahrez started.
Yeah. So okay. Torres will start. He's due a start, and this is a perfect fixture for Torres.
Are we likely to see Laporte, Diaz, and Stone start, and then play that kind of like 3-2-5 formation that they've been peddling out?
Possibly, although he might want to rest one of them ahead of the champion. I'm just seeing the Maddison replay.
Yeah.
He's tricky on the edge of the box. He just goes for an air kick, but I think he goes for a left-footed shot, but his right foot is the standing foot. I think, he plants his right foot and it rolls, the ankle semi-rolls and then sort of comes back to itself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I think it's his left ankle. His left ankle just rattles around. You see when he strikes the ball.
Oh, it is his left. It is his left. His left is getting the treatment. Good spot, Tobes.
It's very kind of like, you hit the ball not quite right and it just jars your whole ankle, almost like twist your ankle. But I don't know, he doesn't look in a huge amount of pain. I think he'll be all right.
Okay.
It's often this happened to me a lot in my very unillustrious football career. My right foot, as you two will know, is absolutely shocking. And anytime I'd kick it with my right foot, that would often happen because it was so poor at striking it. It's almost like your weaker foot, you haven't quite got like your
balance
behind it.
It's weird with left-footed players, isn't it? How so few left-footed players seem to have a decent right foot, whereas right-footed players seem to not have that issue as much.
My summary of that is, in general, left-footers have a better left foot than right-footers have right, but right-footers' weaker foot is always much stronger than left-footers' weaker foot.
Yeah.
It's because as kids, Banger, if you're left-footed, you're always put out on the left back or left wing, and therefore you become reliant on it. Yet right-footed players play in the middle.
Yeah.
How are you getting on with this team, Jan?
Yeah, pretty good actually. I'm pretty happy. I just don't know who's gonna. I just can't work out if Cancelo's gonna start or not.
I really hope he does.
Did he?
And to be fair, I've got Stones on my bench, and I've got DCL first, second sub. So
You need 3 defenders though, don't you?
Yeah, but I think Stones will play, so Stones will come on.
Yeah, I think Stones plays, and I think he plays Diaz, and I think he plays Walker and gives Cancelo a rest because Cancelo's not had a rest for a while. Okay, so I've got Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones, and Zinchenko. That's my back 4. The middle,
say that again. Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones,
and Zinchenko, because
yeah.
I don't think Zinchenko will play in the week. I think he'll play Rodri because he always does, and he doesn't have to run much. I think he'll play I think KDB could start today.
Yeah.
I think he'll get 60. I think he'll get 60. And again, I think Gundogan needs minutes before the Champions League because he's missed the last couple. So I think Gundogan will get 60 as well.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be a really strong midfield. And then I've gone Torres, Jesus, and Sterling. Possibly Mahrez instead of Sterling, and he plays Torres on the left. But I think Foden is benched almost certainly. I'd be surprised if Foden starts because Foden's started so many recently.
I need Raheem. I need him to start and to score 4.
So that's...
I think Cancelo's going to start. I also think Laporte's going to start as well.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah.
What, instead of... Do you think Diaz will get a rest? Although he's been injured, Diaz, wasn't he? He did miss the first of the double game week games. Oh, Leicester on the attack is Pereira. Okay, well cut out by Mings. Pereira dangerous again.
Yeah.
Oh, BBC Sport reporting Grealish out for around a month, according to Adhita. We'll check that. Oh, Leo thinks Fernandinho's 100% starting. Leo, I did think the same, but then I remembered he's been out injured, and I don't know if he's fully fit. So I went with Rodri.
Fun game, this, isn't it? It's literally, it's like harder than picking the bloody lottery numbers.
Jacob17, before I showed mine, posted the exact same 11. Love that, Jacob. Nuclear Atoms has gone Edison, Cancelo, Zinchenko, Diaz, Stones, Silva, Rodri, Gunda. I think Bernardo Silva needs a rest. Torres, Sterling, Mahrez. Oh, no number 9. Interesting. It's just whoever he starts, there'll be a few clues who he thinks is really important for the champs. And bearing in mind, the Premier League's kind of won. The champs is everything to Pep.
It's only Gladbach. I know only the mid-table in Bundesliga. It's not a. They're not playing like Bayern Munich, are they? So I don't know if Pep needs to be...
The thing is, though, Banger, I think City's problem is that because they've struggled in the Champions League, Pep will be under increased amounts of pressure.
Oh, 100%.
He'll go full strength.
Slip up.
I think he needs... that could be... Aguero could be his weapon for that. I think if he leaves Aguero out the Prem games, well, give him some minutes, but he could be his weapon for the champs.
Yeah. I can't remember, Gianni, if it was you or Seb that said it about, I think it might have been Seb that said that he thinks Aguero is being just held back almost entirely for the Champions League. He's just going to be unleashed and play the Champions League.
Get him fit, because he put on a bit of weight, didn't he, as well? Get him...
Fernandinho's starting, by the way, guys. According to City Extra, and loads in the chat are saying it. So I'm changing my 11, just so you know, I've gone Fernandinho instead of Rodri.
Is El Mohammadi lucky to not be sent off here?
Oh, was that on Barnes? I just caught him at the end of the replay. What happened, Tobes?
Last man,
Barnes, he was clean through, and he's taken him out. He's only got a yellow card for it, but debatable whether he was last man. But actually, I know it's not a penalty, so he could have been sent off, couldn't he? I obviously can't hear what they're saying on comms, but I reckon they're talking about whether that should have been a red card.
Maddison over the free kick. I think Maddison might be one of the next big names to go for the old hair transplant.
He's too young, isn't he? He's only about 2.
But he's such a poser, and he's starting to get the old Terry Benedict.
Martinez's hairline's pretty solid.
Oh, good save.
There we go. Madison rolls up, strikes. It's pretty regulation, to be fair.
Yeah, I got a big side there. It's going top bins, though.
It's not going top.
I don't know. I'm just seeing the replay. Okay, it's not right in the top bin, but
if he lets that in, it's a howl.
He's read it well. His foot movement was obviously very good. That's the sort of save that when Pickford, if he makes it, makes a complete meal of it and gets one hand to it, and it's like the worldiest save you've ever seen. But because Martinez is so good with his footwork,
and because he's about a foot taller.
To be fair, like I think this is an important point to raise. Like Lloris has been getting hammered the last few weeks, and probably rightfully so. Martinez is still widely regarded as being like a phenomenal keeper, been brilliant. Martinez has made quite a few mistakes in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
from memory.
true.
Against West Ham, he made 2 mistakes. Like Lingard had a shot which burst through his hands. Today, arguably, he's made a mistake. But like, I don't know. I just feel like when you play for Aston Villa, they don't get talked about as much as they do if you play for United or Chelsea or Spurs or City. It just doesn't, does it? You get away with more as a keeper in a less big team, I think.
Yeah, and I don't think people probably expected him to be as good as he has been.
Is Maddison going off it?
It looks like he's got a problem with his sort of... Is it his hip banger?
Yeah, looks it. No, he's doing squat. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that Mendy coming on? Yeah, Mendy's getting stripped off.
Yeah.
So
he made 60 minutes though, and you'd be pretty happy as a Maddison owner with the goal. And
Gundogan starts.
Yeah,
Cancelo bench.
According to a few on Twitter, guys, it's looking like KDB and Gundo are going to start and Cancelo benched. But again, we'll be confirming it. Don't go off. All these reports aren't always 100% accurate. So in 5 minutes' time, we will be revealing the actual 11. But yeah, looking likely that Gundo start.
Diaz and Stones, according to Rockstar.
Okay, we'll be keeping an eye on that then.
What's Raheem doing? Come on.
So Maddison doesn't look comfy there, Tobes, because we've just seen his ankle, and now we're seeing his sort of does it sort of pelvic or hip?
Yeah. It's a different injury, isn't it, to the first one he went down, like you said, holding his ankle. Yeah, this looks like literally on his hip bone, which is possibly like more concerning, right? Because that's if there's something wrong with your hip, that's often like problematic in football. Yeah, he's just getting a little massage at the moment from the physio.
He's not putting a huge amount of weight. He's just got up and he doesn't look overly comfortable with Mendy stripped off. I mean, you're 2-1 up. Oh, it's that scoreline, and Villa are a team that could equalise out of nowhere. Remember, this is a Leicester team that still will be looking at the league and going, okay, in real terms, the title's out of sight because it's Man City, but top 4 is absolutely realistic. And they missed out, didn't they, last season? They were really close until the last game week or two. I think on the last game week, they still could have got it.
Cancelo starts, according to Rockstar.
Okay, we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Again.
So my prediction's not... Well, I went for Gundo and KDB in the middle, and Fernandinho I changed to.
We just got to wait, haven't we? Because all of this nonsense that's coming out on Twitter. Let's just wait for the action.
I'm just on Rockstar. He's the only one I'm looking at, to be fair. I'm waiting for...
We'll give it 3 minutes. And who are they playing? Of course.
Arsenal.
I mean, no one really cares about the Arsenal lineup, do they? I mean, Aubameyang got a hat-trick last time out, guys. In terms of FPL, because I was asked this in the week, should we be considering at some point Aubameyang, if he plays number 9? He played number 9 instead of Lacazette. So we had Saka. Oh, Barnes. No, Vardy goes close.
Yeah, Vardy.
If Aubameyang plays 9 like he did against Leeds and has Odegaard, Smith Rowe and Saka all behind him, which was the formation and sort of lineup against Leeds, Aubameyang could be a threat. My problem is he's like 11.8 million.
I've got a genuine plan for Aubameyang. Aubameyang's coming in
game week 29, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That'll be.
And then you keep him for 30, Tobes.
Yeah, well, I do, but I bench him. That's how good my squad is. I can actually afford to bench him because I've got Aubameyang plays Liverpool at home in 30, and my midfield will be Grealish if he's fit against Fulham, Rafinha against Sheffield United, Son versus Newcastle, Bruno versus Brighton. Front 3 of Watkins, Kane and Bamford are all playing lower league teams. It'd be Aubameyang for a 1 week classic.
And he might be a captain that week because you'll have double Spurs against Villa. You might not want to go Kane or Son, depending on form.
Yeah. West Ham will be tough. I think West Ham will do Arsenal. I think they will. I think
higher in the table.
Yeah.
Very likely to be higher in the table, aren't they?
Yeah.
I know, a few weeks away yet. Form could change, but I think West Ham, they've...
Moisey has got them on lockdown, though. One thing we can say about West Ham, and Tobes knows this so well as someone that got on Cresswell so early, is they just don't concede many.
No.
Yeah, they are pretty solid. I mean, to be fair, actually, we talked about it today. Against Fulham, they barely had a sniff. To be fair, against Spurs, they barely had a sniff as well. They had, I think, 4 shots on goal, scored 2 goals. But yeah, defensively, they're a tough nut to crack. So yeah.
Yeah, they really are. We can't talk about West Ham as top 4, though, can we?
No.
Sterling, Mahrez. Ooh, come on,
Sterling. The team news hasn't come out yet.
Sorry, it hasn't come out yet. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So top 4, Because we all support teams, Chelsea, Bangor United, Tobe, Spurs, that are none of us guaranteed top 4 by any stretch. I mean, United, some will say they are, but I personally don't think United are guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, United have got to be odds
if Bruno stays fit.
Yeah, I think
safe.
Chelsea have got a good chance. Spurs, I think, are pretty long odds to get top 4 now. I'd have thought. I think it's pretty unlikely.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. And to be fair, I think Mourinho will now just almost use that as an excuse later on in the season to have a good cup run in Europa. And so if he wins the League Cup and we get to the semis of the Europa League, he'll just say, "Yep, did my job, won a trophy that Spurs haven't done."
Surely it's worth going all out for Europa then, isn't it? Getting the Champions League then.
In a way, that's trying to take the positives out of it. That might be the thing. It's like top 4's kind of gone, so just focus, play your best team every week in the Europa League and see how you get on.
And then I guess some of those Europa League games, because it's 2 legs, if you go and batter them in game 1, in game 2 you can still have those rests, which in the Champions League you rarely get.
I've got the team news. Bilva plays.
Oh.
So Ederson, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, Zinchenko, Fernandinho, Gundogan, Bilva, Mahrez, De Bruyne, and Sterling. So on the bench, you've got Walker, Jesus, Aguero, Laporte, Rodrigo, Foden, Mendy, and Torres.
Wow. Okay, so Walker bench, Tobes.
Walker is indeed benched. Yeah.
Okay, so I got 3 wrong. I said Walker would start, and I also said Torres and Jesus. I usually get about 3 wrong. I'll take that. The attacking positions are the hardest. Like, you could predict the midfield. Like, KDB and Gundogan were due because they've been out. They'll get, and I guarantee they'll both come off. And Sterling usually starts, but picking that front 3 is so difficult.
Yeah,
I could really do with a City clean sheet now because I've got Cancelo playing and I've got Stones as my first sub, and obviously no Grealish, so Stones will be playing for me today.
Does look like it'll be De Bruyne, false 9 though, because I can't see him changing Bernardo, Gundogan, and Fernandinho in the midfield 3. Those 3 have been so good, or certainly Gundogan and Silva, and then Mahrez 9 times out of 10 plays on the right, Sterling left, so De Bruyne around down on the 11, on their number 9.
Might not even be a false 9, might just be
number
a
9. Yeah.
It's a shame he's not back a couple of weeks before the big 26, isn't it? Because he could still get rotated in those 2.
I don't know, Banger. He usually plays most minutes. I think he's a safe bet for 26 now, KDB. If he looks like goes off.
I guess it depends on how they do in the champs.
Yeah, ideally, what you want for Man City in the champs is them blowing Gladbach away in game 1 so they can go and play, Torres game 2. It could be Gundogan false 9 today, but I think it will be KDB. It could be Sterling too. It could even be Bilva or Mahrez. I personally don't think. I know Jason and Ishtak, a lot of you, and Jacob, you're saying Gundo. I'll be very surprised, mate. Gundogan gets into those positions, but he very rarely, I don't think, if at all, this season has lined up as the 9.
Yeah.
Have we all got Gundo starting in our teams?
We've all got him, yeah.
We've all got him, yeah.
What's Gundogan's ownership at the moment? That must be...
I think it's about 25.
What? Surely it's got to be higher than that.
No, I don't think it is. I'm just looking.
31.
Okay. Still, it should be higher.
Yeah.
If you think of active managers, there's still over 50% of the game actively playing. So
Raheem is 12. Come on, I need him to smash it.
Yeah,
you still got Raheem? I thought you got rid of him, Banger.
No, I was, but I stuck with him.
Guys, Foden is 11% owned, and when you look at the returns in recent weeks, he's gone 3, 8, and 16.
Yeah.
Have you started Foden, Jan, in your team?
Yeah, and I thought it'd be benched, but I couldn't risk not starting him.
Yeah. Trouble is though, he probably comes on for 15 today, right?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, looking at your team there, you've got Watkins as your first sub. So actually, you'd rather Foden for 15 minutes than Watkins getting you 2 points.
I forgot I had Watkins ahead of target. Annoyingly, I've got Luca Dean on 7, but that's not happening.
Yeah, although you say it's annoying, it's one of those.
I was never going to go there.
Yeah.
And to be fair, watching Liverpool-Everton, all I cared about was a Salah blank. So the Dean points is just like whatevs. Speaking of Salah, hand on heart, Tobes, and I'll come to you with the same Banger. Can you see yourself owning Salah next week?
No. I think he'll be gone for... Even though I feel
Harry Kane funds.
Yeah, I feel like he'll burn me against Sheffield United. I expect probably something out of Salah against Sheffield United, but Yeah, I'm in the position where, because I've still got my wild card and I'm planning to use that in 31, I'm viewing it as going to get rid of Salah. There's a chance Salah could go absolutely mental over the next 4 game weeks and really punish me. Unlikely, I think. Or Leicester are in there, nearly. Good goalkeeping.
Yeah, good keeping.
If Salah absolutely finds some form and Liverpool suddenly become really, really good and free-flowing again, wild card in 31, bring Salah back in. But I think I'm willing to take the risk of going without Salah for 4 game weeks.
Oh, wow. Lukaku is 2-0 Inter.
Oh, God.
This is unbelievable. He's a different player. I think he might get the Ballon d'Or if Inter win the league.
Jesus.
He is something else. Ollie must be watching this going, what was I doing?
What did United get for him? What did they sell him for?
Don't know.
80, was it 75, 80 mil? Was it?
Oh,
no, 65, I think.
Probably good money at the time, but yeah, he's probably worth double that now, isn't he?
Oh, okay. McGinn, there's been a tweet. McGinn gets the assist.
That's good. Good for
God,
FPL.
it took him a while to work that one out.
Yeah, it doesn't really affect you though, Jan, does it? Because Target's never coming on for you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. It'll be Watkins because Cancelo start. I also thought Cancelo was going to be benched.
Yeah.
And I did think there's a good chance if Cancelo's benched, he won't come on.
Yeah.
But Foden will. Yeah, what were we talking about? Lukaku, what did he go
Salah.
for, Banger?
I think it was 65 million.
Oh, that is
around.
still a
I think
huge
so.
fee.
Not to what they paid for it.
Check out his second goal, Banger. On
I've
Premier.
just seen it, yeah, pace.
And he has got a thump of a left foot.
It's just annoying.
He's got a
you didn't
Toby
see that
Marget's
United.
left foot.
He put on so much muscle at United.
It weren't muscle. He was bloody.
Gary Neville said he was 105 kilos at United. That's massive.
Yeah,
It's like a heavyweight boxer.
Yeah,
Oh, Vardy's in it. Oh, well defended.
He was out at the Trafford Centre every Sunday having kebabs, wasn't he? So he's not.
Is there any proof of that, Banger? Is there any evidence?
No.
Vardy, the game plan now is get Vardy in behind. They've done it a couple of times in the last 5 minutes. And Vardy versus Mings is a good foot race, but Vardy edges it. But yeah, ushered out.
Villa have actually done okay, haven't they? I don't think Villa have played very well, but they've stayed in the game. And it's 2-1, 20 minutes to go. Anything could happen still. Leicester, they're not making it easy for Leicester.
We've not seen a Watkins shot yet, have we, Tobes?
No, Watkins has not been in the game at all. And I owned Watkins for 6 or 7 game weeks earlier in the year, and it just felt like this a lot watching Watkins. He'd just drift in and out of games or drift through games without really ever looking like scoring. Then he seems to go on little bursts, doesn't he, where he gets like a couple of goals in a couple of game weeks. But yeah, I've got like PTSD when I think about Watkins. Had him for I think 7 game weeks, did nothing, got rid of him, and he got 3 assists in 1 game.
But knowing he's playing in 29 Tobes, he must be on your watch list.
Well, I am going to have a bit of a rethink. If that Grealish news is true, and if Grealish is out for a month, I've got to get rid of him.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out now, actually.
I've probably got to get rid of him for a hit this game week because I want to get 13 or 14 out on my bench boost. So if Grealish isn't going to be available for...
You've got to sell him.
I've got to sell him for a hit.
He's had a decent debut season.
BBC 22 minutes ago, Aston Villa captain out for around a month through injury. So there'll be a BBC reporter at the stadium today that has spoken to someone during the game, perhaps one of the medical team that have confirmed that. So yeah, it's not looking great. Sorry, Banger. Oh, it didn't come to you on Salah, Banger. You've got a bit of surgery needed ahead of a bench boost, so your concentration will be on taking players out that are flagged, like your Justin, your second keeper. But at the same time, you might want those funds for Kane, which means Salah has to go.
Oh, I got rid of Justin this week.
Did you?
Yeah, but no, Salah is, even if I did need surgery, is staying 100%.
Okay.
I think he's still the second highest point scorer within the game. He had chances against Everton, if not for a world-class goalkeeping performance from Pickford. And also, watching them in the Champions League against Leipzig, they were decent. They weren't they would look 2 different sides. And I think, I'd be mad to sell him for a double game week. He's not leaving my team.
Quiz question for you both, because some are selling Bruno. By the way, there's Bruno and Salah to get the Kane funds. I've seen people going, "I'm selling Bruno, I'm selling Salah." Bruno has just played 38 games in the Premier League, right? That's an equivalent of a season. How many points do you reckon he got in those 38 games, knowing that the FPL record is Salah on 300? In a season. That's not in a 30. So Salah got 300 in a season. Bruno's played 38. What do you reckon he's on?
I reckon he's up there. I reckon he's around that mark.
260, 264-ish? I don't know.
Go on, Tobes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's on about 300.
Yeah, 295. Unbelievable.
295.
Like, Bruno is 5 points off the FPL record.
Wow.
Although, that isn't a season, it's 38 games, but still, you know.
It's still a good indication, though, isn't it, of just how unbelievably consistent he has been since joining from United. He's been the probably the only set and forget midfielder, arguably, that you could have over the last couple of seasons, right?
Yeah, I can't believe people are taking him out to get Harry Kane in. They could say the same about me, going, oh, why is he taking Salah out? But for me, Salah's in a team that aren't quite doing it, and he's been inconsistent. Bruno, against West Brom, Bruno didn't look great, but he just pops up with a worldie goal. That's what he does.
And he plays as well. We spoke about earlier about triple captain rotation. Bruno is going to play.
Yeah.
But even if he plays midweek, he's still playing at the weekend as well.
So I haven't thought about this. I'm literally just looking at it now, and it's popped into my mind. And I'm kind of like, is an option to get rid of Grealish, get rid of Son, and get rid of Shea Adams, and try and almost incorporate Kevin De Bruyne and Kane rather than Son being a make weight for that. I'm not even sure if I could afford that.
Yeah, but you've got 3 City already, no?
Yeah, sorry, that's a good point.
Because I've looked at KDB, but I'm like, okay, do I really want to sell Gundogan? Absolutely not. I could sell Foden, but
yeah, would you not rather? Gundogan's cheap enough to keep as your 5th, isn't he? Like,
yeah,
he's not. He's only a few. 4.4.
No, he's 6 now.
Oh, he's 6 now. But yeah, he's not that much dearer than Souček or whatever. Yeah. I know you don't have him either, but it's a cheap midfield option. Gundogan's worth it.
He's not going anywhere, Gundogan.
No.
Especially because City, by the way, have got a double in 26. Also a double in 27. Like, we can't forget that.
No.
KDB will be going up in price very soon because people will just be trying to shoehorn him in. But I can't see how I'm going to do it if I want Kane as well. I can't have both.
Yeah. Going to be some planning to be done.
There's going to be some hits. There's going to be some hits.
There definitely is. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that for prior to a bench boost.
I don't mind a 4, but I don't know if make an 8 ahead of a bench boost is a bit counterintuitive. I don't know. I'm trying to work that one out in my head. It's
just really difficult, isn't it? You're not going to know until after the Gameweek 26 how well it went. You could have an absolute nightmare. Ooh, Villa with a good chance there.
I think an 8-point hit, if you're getting enough players, if you're selling the players that are playing once, an 8-point hit for 3 players that are playing twice is worth it.
Yeah. Traore there, Tobes. I know you mentioned it. That's a great cross from target.
Yeah, just floated it up there, didn't it? And shouted, "Come and attack me." I think, to be fair, Thomas does quite well there to kind of get his body in between himself and Traore. That Leicester are just somehow churning out quality youngsters, aren't they? Like, fair play to their academy, but they just seem to bring in a kid, and they're always like, Justin is amazing. Thomas, like, I know we've not seen a huge amount of him, just looks decent.
Yeah. I mean, Barnes, Maddison, I think they got from Norwich, and Justin they got from Luton randomly.
Yeah.
Justin was playing in the Championship last season. Or were Luton even in the Championship? Were they League One last year?
Justin was in the Prem last because I had Justin in my fantasy team.
Oh, sorry, it was the year before. The year before then,
I think.
But it goes to show there is quality. Oh, Barkley's gone off. He's taken his boots off. Doesn't look overly happy. I don't think that's tactical. That looks like potentially a knock there.
Where are his socks and shin pads?
He just tossed him into the stadium.
Yeah, he didn't look too happy there, did he? Little injury, maybe?
Yeah, especially knowing there's no Grealish on the pitch and they're chasing the game. I'd be very surprised if that was a tactical one. Yeah, it goes to show there's good quality in those lower leagues. Like you can sign a kid like Justin. He looks like he's going to be one of the great Leicester players. Like, he looks amazing.
Yeah. Get him on the plane. I said earlier about Villa with a chance here. Oh, it's fluffed it. I think that was.
Was it Trezeguet?
That's Trezeguet, yeah.
So Trezeguet must have come on. He didn't start, did he? He's come on for Barkley, I guess.
So gutted for Justin. Honestly, just
He can play right back, left back. He can play left or right centre back.
Yeah, and he deserved to go as well. Now he's not obviously going to be fit.
He can play wing back.
Freak injury.
Yeah,
and he was a decent Leicester asset as well for me. I didn't worry about Maddison or Barnes as much when I had Justin.
Mate, Justin, that was killing me in Tobes. You were Justin in our mini league because he was. Oh, they're in here. Oh, it's Watkins puts in puts in Trezeguet, who just fluffs it.
Oh, he just doesn't get any contact on it, does he, Trezeguet? I think he would have been offside anyway.
Yeah, Watkins looked like he was closer to Exeter than he was the defenders there.
Yeah, I think he is
He
off.
was miles off.
I think he's a mile off.
It's that whole don't put the flag up until the phase of play is over.
Well,
So I'm guessing the Lino did put his flag up. Yeah, he did.
I think Watkins is off. I think Trezeguet is off. Oh no, Trezeguet's miles on, isn't he? I'm talking rubbish again. Yeah, Watkins is miles off. Minus points for Watkins.
Yeah, in the BPS, little -1, I think, for that.
You know, one thing that occurred to me today, which is annoying, is so you know with the newish rule where linesmen aren't putting their flag up until really late.
Yeah.
So what's happening is on a lot of occasions you're getting a forward that's miles offside, but the flag doesn't go up because the phase of play continues to give the defending team a bit of an advantage. So that player then doesn't get classed as being offside, despite the fact he would have been all day long had the linesman.
For BPS, does it not go against them?
Well, no, because ultimately the linesman doesn't put his flag up and the game just carries on. Whereas like a year ago, he'd have put his flag straight up because he got onto it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting how that has a sort of minor impact on FPL.
Yeah, I guess it does. Martinez is on 5 saves, by the way. Nobody who asked in the chat. Barnes is 3 bonus points at the moment. Maddison on for 2 and Traore for 1. Is Maddison still on the pitch? Because did he go off with that hip problem?
Yeah, he went off, didn't he? Yeah. I'm pretty sure he did anyway.
That'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Barkley off, probably injured. Maddison off, injured. In the Spurs-West Ham game earlier, by the way, bonus points went the way of Jay Lings. Jesse Lingard, a goal and 3 bonus again.
Yeah, winning goal, isn't it?
And Antonio and Lucas look like they're tied on 2. That could go either way. It'll be confirmed around 10 p.m. tonight, I believe.
Do you know, also heard this chat before, but Gareth Bale probably had his best game in a Spurs shirt. And Mourinho alluded to earlier that he's basically ready now to be starting Premier League games.
Was there a comment from Mourinho, was there?
Yeah, basically he was asked, why isn't he playing? Because he played well in Europe as well. And Mourinho was like, he's looking good. Yep, agreed. But he can't play 2 games in 3 days. But he was like, yeah, he's ready. He described it as like his evolution is there. So yeah, again, if you're looking for a differential, albeit quite an expensive one, yeah, Gareth Bale potentially might be a bit maverick.
I mean, his fitness must have been it's February now, end of Feb to be getting fit.
And he's not been playing. Like
he wasn't playing every week at Madrid.
Yeah, and he's not old. Like, he's still, what, is he 20, 30?
Golf isn't that tiring to wear you out.
He's 31.
Is he 31?
Yeah,
okay.
31.
Which isn't that, we look at Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy's, what, 33?
Yeah.
And
4
still
maybe?
Rapid. Yeah, and there's no reason, 31, you're not finished. Like, if he was 35, 36, fair enough.
And he's got the right body shape. Like, it's not like a Wayne Rooney where at 31 you go, okay, I understand that you can't run like a Vardy because your body shape's not suited to it. Yeah. Bale's like as athletic as they come.
Yeah. Like Cavani, isn't it? He's still...
Yeah, exactly. By the way, guys, think of the Arsenal team. Leno, Bellerin holding Mari at centre-back. Holding Amari, that's one for City to be licking their lips on. Tierney, Elneny and Xhaka. And then he's gone for Aubameyang down the middle again. He did it against Leeds and it worked. So no Lacazette. He's playing the 3 behind Aubameyang. Saka, Odegaard in the 10. And interesting enough, Pepe instead of Smith Rowe. Interesting. But yeah, Aubameyang down the middle again is great for those that do own him. I know he's pretty lowly owned. And yeah, the BBC have it lined up as KDB playing 9, which will be interesting.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. I
think,
like Aubameyang obviously worked as a 9 against Leeds, but playing City's a pretty different proposition, isn't it, to Leeds?
I'm not sure Foden comes on today, It depends on the scoreline. He might want to get Aguero 20 minutes before the Champions League.
You want him to come on though, don't you? Really?
Yeah, 2 points from Watkins is rubbish.
Yeah.
If he comes on, even with 10 to go, I rather that chance of a goal.
10 minutes from Foden against a knackered Arsenal is much better than 2 points from Watkins. I think.
He's got Jesus, Aguero. I'm just thinking of attacking subs. He's got Torres, Aguero, Jesus, and Foden. Yeah, okay, he could come on, but he could go for a Walker and rest it. Give Cancelo 60. But yeah.
Second guessing Pep, isn't it? It's impossible.
Yeah, it really is. Although, 3 wrong in the lineup.
Yeah, only 30%.
Yeah. Are they going to get an equaliser, Villa here?
I don't think so. I think Leicester have, I think, definitely foot's come off the gas. Like when they went 2-0 up, I think we were thinking it could be a bit of a rout here. But yeah, Villa, without really doing anything particularly good offensively, have just kind of, like I said, kept themselves in the game. And when you do that, 5 minutes to go, you give yourself a chance, don't you? Like you always think when it gets to this stage of a game, Villa will probably get one more chance, like whether it's a good chance or not, but they will probably get something. And yeah, if they can put it away, then they can sort of, it might feel like a bit of a smash and grab. But yeah, I think to be fair, the scoreline is probably pretty accurate at the moment. Leicester probably good value to be winning.
Yeah.
Is Watkins going to get booked here?
He's not, but he's probably because it's his first foul or something. But Michael Oliver is usually happy to dish out the yellows.
Yeah, would have been harsh as well.
Yeah.
But fair enough, just shoulder to shoulder, wasn't it?
Soyuncu's looked solid. I know he's been back in the team a couple of weeks, but Fofana has been like one of Leicester's best players this season, arguably player of the season, and he's out I think for a month or something. So to have Soyuncu come in is good strength and depth there for Leicester. Like Evans and then Soyuncu and Fofana, strong three.
I don't think Rodgers gets enough credit for how Leicester have been doing, despite the fact they've had a lot of injuries this season. Fofana's been out, Evans has been out, Justin's now out for the season, Soyuncu's been
Castagna was out.
Castagna was out for ages. Pereira was out for ages. These are all like some of Leicester's best players.
Yeah, if that was Liverpool, we'd never hear the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Only Liverpool have had injuries this season. No one else has.
We've got another sub coming on here, Chowdhury, right?
Oh, it's Chowdhury coming on.
I don't know who he's going to come on for.
So he's already gone quite defensive when he put Ndidi on for Maddison. So now he's going to go for another DM. Sorry, not Ndidi, Mendy. So he's got Ndidi, Mendy and Chowdhury, 3 DMs.
Yeah, possibly Tielemans maybe he might come on for.
Yeah, unless he takes Barnes off. And
yeah, Barnes is a good shout, actually. Again, it's Barnsley getting 90 minutes again, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Earlier this season, Tobes, I know where you got the rotation listing from. He was always playing 70, but recently he's been sort of Brendan's go-to man. And you say about Brendan Rodgers being great. I'll ask you this first banger. This morning, linked with Spurs, was Brendan Rodgers. Is that a move that would be a step in the right direction for Brendan Rodgers, or would he go, I might get top 4. I've got Champions League football. If I go to Spurs, I haven't. I'll hold.
100% I'd hold. I think he's this season, especially Leicester, incredible. I wouldn't be leaving them mid-season. At the end of the season, maybe.
If Leicester get top 4 and Spurs don't at the end of the season. It's a bigger club, bigger budgets.
Yeah. If it was me, I got the Spurs job. Spurs have got a platform there where the right manager could do wonders. I don't think Mourinho was the right manager, but Rodgers could be. It could be his next step up. He did well at Liverpool.
Did very well at Liverpool. It's a Gerrard slip.
Finished second, just.
I'd love Rodgers at Spurs. I think he'd be a really, really good appointment. I think you're right, though. Like, if I was Rodgers now, let's be realistic. Mourinho is not going to get sacked this season, in my opinion.
Not during the season.
No, there's no point. Like, regardless.
Oh, Leicester appealing for a pen here. Sorry, Tobes. Never a pen.
Nah, never a pen.
No, not given. Carry on, Tobes.
Yeah. Mourinho won't be sacked mid-season because what's the point? We're in a cup final. You've got to probably give him a chance to do that. We're still in the Europa League. He could have a good run in that. And yet, who's available? Who's going to come to Spurs mid-season? There isn't really anyone.
Klopp leaves Liverpool.
Yeah, get Klopp. On my list would probably be Nagelsmann would be at the top of my list, probably with Rodgers a pretty close second. I think if the Mourinho experiment doesn't work out, which it's looking like it's not going to, I think you've got to get a manager in that's going to play the way that Spurs fans want them to play, and I think Nagelsmann will be given 3 or 4 years to get to play the style that he wants to play, which will get fans on the edge of their seat, and that's what I think the club needs.
He's definitely one for using that all-out attack chip every week. I think for me, I think Rodgers is like, he'll think he's involved with this project with Leicester, and a year in the Champions League for Leicester would be amazing, and he'll do that. I think Rodgers will be the next Chelsea manager. I've thought it for a while, and I didn't think he'd be the next Chelsea manager after Frank, but Chelsea gave him his first taste of managerial experience. He was our youth team manager, or one of our youth team coaches. I think he's got good connections with Chelsea, and I could see him going there after Tuchel.
He's ambitious as well. I don't think he's the kind of sentimental guy. I think if he did get offered a decent job mid-season, he might. I wouldn't.
Yeah, he was linked with Arsenal after before Arteta.
Yeah, he jumped Celtic, didn't he, when he went to Leicester? You know, if he gets
that was mid-season, I think.
Yeah, it was, and he left them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, it's easy to forget. Football is a business. Money talks, and yeah, like Gianni said, maybe Leicester fans don't want to hear it, but Spurs is a step up probably in terms of stature of the club. It's a bigger stadium. It's probably bigger budgets to work with, and yeah, I think Rodgers would see it as that. I think also there's a slight allure with the Spurs job at the moment, is that for such a big club who've historically not done very well at all in the last 20 years, to be that first manager that comes in and genuinely gets them a bit of success is quite an attractive prospect. And I think someone like Rodgers will look at that and kind of be like, well, I'm going to go there, going to get backed, revenues are going to be high with the new stadium, hopefully eventually. Yeah, I could see him doing it.
Baron saying Leicester is such a well-run club, and you make a good point, Baron. They really are. Like everything Leicester's recruitment has been just brilliant. Rodgers, the next City manager, thinks nobody. Okay, maybe. I
don't think City would.
They want more glamour. City will go for whoever's the best in Europe at the time, and that could be an Allegri or a Poch or whoever.
I think he meant Exeter City. We'll take it there.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. As much as I think Rodgers would do a great job at City won't go for him because he's not glamorous.
Unless he wins the league with Leicester.
Yeah, but he won't.
He's got to do some serious bits. For me, City won't be someone that takes someone that's a nearly man. They'll be taking the finished product. I think Chelsea and Spurs will happily gamble on a nearly. Oh, Target's in again on the left. Target seems to just hang over that board for a while. Target with the header across goal, but blocked. There's 3 minutes left. Villa are pushing, and they have been for the last 10-15, but still haven't been producing big chances for Schmeichel. And it does look like Target's the sort of best attacking outlet. Trezeguet's a bit average. El Ghazi's not stepped up today. Traore's done well with his goal, but the service hasn't been there for Watkins. And it's probably harsh to say Watkins should have done better because, I don't know, he's just not had the service. He has been chasing shadows today.
It's easy to say, isn't it? It just looks like a game for Villa that's crying out for Jack Grealish to come in there and open it up. Right?
It shows how much to it. And in games like this, and Bang, I'll come to you because you mentioned him earlier. Games like this, Jack Grealish out, Ross Barkley had an opportunity to really step up and say, I'm the main man, I'm on 100k a week and this is why. I should be in the England squad and this is why. And he doesn't stamp his authority. In games like this, he really should be. Yeah.
He seems to have always come across like that as well. I remember watching him when he was like 17 at Everton. He looked incredible.
Yeah.
At that, for his age, then he was obviously dubbed the next Wayne Rooney, which is harsh, but you don't want that much pressure. But he never seemed to fulfill that ambition. Similar to Zaha, I felt as well in many ways. He didn't take his opportunities when he could have. I know you got boys rate him highly. I think he's always been in his comfort zone.
Yeah. Big fish, small pond.
Yeah. And some players are happy with that. Same with managers as well. And if that's the level, that's fine. Like with David Moyes.
Yeah.
It levels West Ham and he's doing an exceptional job.
Good point.
And yeah, I think that's...
There's a free kick here for Villa. 90 seconds left.
Last chance of the game, isn't it?
Is Martinez going to go up? He's asking the bench if he can.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Why not?
Go on, Martinez. Get a goal for all those FPL managers. Oh, I don't think he has. Traore goes short. Scuffs it. Oh, it's back out. They've got an opportunity to cross here. Ball comes in. Target's up there with Trezeguet. No, Leicester clear.
Martinez is fuming as well, isn't he?
I don't know why he didn't go up. Like,
why not?
What's the difference in losing 3-1 and having a go to get a goal? Like, why not?
Yeah. Guys, by the way, in the chat, do check out all the numbers we've used today in terms of stats, straight from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. So definitely check it out if you don't already. And also, I'm hoping you've all liked this video. It's a gimme, right? You've all liked the video. Definitely do. Do comment as well. And definitely subscribe to the channel. Oh, there's a header here. It's Mings wide. That's going to be your last chance. 20 seconds left. That was a good chance.
As well, wasn't it?
That was a great chance.
Who whips that in? It's a good ball from Mohammedi. It's actually quite far wide, Tobes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have done better. He was, 7 yards out, 8 yards out? Get it on target at least.
Yeah.
A bit of fizz on it. Yeah.
I think that's
Game
it.
over.
Yeah, game over. Good result for Leicester as they cement that place in the top 4. And Villa, that's probably quite good for us Spurs and Chelsea fans that Villa have lost today because, well, I don't know what we would have wanted. Maybe a draw, but drop points for Villa, especially after the West Ham win earlier. So yeah, full time. Definitely in terms of FPL interest, guys, Maddison and Barnes first half were both very, very good. I'd be slightly worried about the Maddison injuries, not just the hip. The camera's on him now, and he didn't go into the tunnel for treatment, and he is walking okay. But hip and ankle potential issues there.
Possibly makes a choice between Barnes and Maddison a bit easier though.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it does indeed.
Yeah.
I think Late Riser on his wild card had the same dilemma, and I think he may have gone Maddison, so he'll be gutted with that one if he did. Although the points for Maddison and Barnes, I'm guessing they're both going to be getting bonus points today. Just to confirm, bonus points are looking like Barnes for 3, Maddison for 2, Traore for 1. And the Man City game is obviously up in half an hour's time, so yeah, do enjoy that, guys. The big news there is Cancelo and Stones, Gundogan, KDB all starting. Any final thoughts from you, Banger, ahead of next week?
Just thinking Villa assets have suddenly seem a bit less appealing to me now. Like, if Grealish is out for 4 or 5 weeks, they've conceded a lot of chances. I know they're playing in 29, which if you are making a transfer this week, it does make sense to maybe bring a Villa player or Spurs player, someone you can take advantage of both double game week. The blank game week in 29 and double 26. But yeah, it's something to consider now, Villa.
Yeah, because Grealish is going to be out for, what, they're saying about a month. Well, game week 29 falls for Villa Sunday the 21st of March. That's almost exactly a month away.
Okay.
So, not just thinking of Grealish, but also Villa players. A month is a lot of Premier League football at the moment.
Yeah. In a crucial time as well, there's a lot of chips going to be, we're going to see lots of triple captains, bench boosts, wild cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Headaches.
Yeah, definitely headaches. Tobes, you've got one with that Grealish injury. Definitely thrown a spanner. It means you're almost certainly going to take 1 hit, maybe 2.
Yeah, it's almost certainly going to need to be 1 hit to try and get as many players playing in the bench boost for 26. I'm just going to be probably having a bit of a tinker whilst watching the City game this afternoon. But yeah, I mean, in a way, it kind of forces my hand a little bit. Like, probably Grealish to Barnes is an obvious choice, but then, as I say, in order to finance Kane, I need to do Salah down to somebody, and I've got probably about 8.2 million to replace Salah with. I'm going to try and work out who best to spend that on this afternoon. Yeah,
those that play in the double and play in 29 are slim pickings, but Villa are obviously one of those teams, and Fulham, and we mentioned a few others. I think there's 4 teams or maybe 3 that play in the double and in the blank, so check that out. Guys, for all news on fixtures, do make sure you follow Fantasy Football Scout on Twitter as well. They'll bring you up to date with all the latest and injury news. And do make sure you check out Luke Johnson, Toby Margetts, and give me a follow as well. And we'll see you all for another Scoutcast match day very soon. Thank you guys for joining me, and enjoy the games later. See you later, guys.